morning, lovely people. It is Mark's favourite day. It's Friday, the 19th of May. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture, as defined by you guys. And it's a full room. Let's introduce ourselves. Camera. You make me so sick, I swear. Like, I'm just so over you. You said I'm not talking until...
Is
you
this
sort all this
camera
out.
on me?
You're such a main character.
It's blurry, man. We good?
Yeah, that's a good amount of glow and light.
Oh, I feel a bit pale, man. What are we doing with the light in there, man?
Are you alright?
This is crazy.
This is-
I'm all
you're
washed out and that.
usually right. Like, what's going on?
He's just a main character.
All right, then. No, man, try to wash me out in a light, man. Stop the foolishness, man. Come on, man. Yo, it's your boy Big Mars from the east side of the bridge. 6 foot plus of pure temptation and all that good stuff.
All right. It is your favourite shade queen, Martin Royalty.
It's your girl, Just Jean. Say it, Miles. Come on.
Baddest on the scene.
That's right.
And they call me man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer and news analyst, Melanin Jam-Packed.
You like forgot what you was.
But you sound that really well because it looks really good.
Hi, beautiful people. It's Maxie Johnson.
Woo! Thank you for joining us. How's everyone doing this lovely morning?
We all right. We good over here.
Yeah? Good. Love that.
How are you?
Smiling?
Why are you giggling over there like that,
Why
Mom?
are you smiling?
No reason.
All right, I've got a question of the day for you guys. So what is something you are looking forward to?
The weekend. I ain't got no plans. I'm lying.
When?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? That's vague.
First of all, sorry, you and Gina, you can ask me questions. You were here yesterday. You know how this goes. Don't make a scene. It could be anything. It could be tomorrow. It could be... It could be this. You're so dumb. It could be this after. It could be whenever.
Having my cheeks out.
What?
And getting a tan.
Where's
Love
that?
it.
Where's
On
that?
holiday.
Shit. I thought it was
So
there.
where's that?
So
The
annoying.
where?
When, where?
How?
What time should I be there?
Okay, I love that.
I think I'm
Anybody
looking forward
else?
to like my next holiday.
Okay, yeah.
I haven't booked it yet, but definitely like a next
That's a
holiday.
good one.
That's a good
I'll
one,
steal
yeah.
I'll steal that one.
I'm
Because
doing
I'm
that
already
one
there and
too.
I don't know where it is.
I'm doing that one too because I'm going for my birthday and I booked it actually. So.
Oh, you booked
Where
it?
are you going?
I'm going. Sorry, I forgot Nigeria for a second. What?
You was about to say it.
I was like, what? What's going on?
You was about to say it.
Yeah, I was really about to say.
Why wouldn't you say what's that about? Sorry?
You know how I'm just weird. I don't like to.
One of them Nigerians.
Yeah, I just don't like people my business.
Okay.
It feels like it should be a secret, but it's not. But
Okay, but you booked it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I went there for my honeymoon.
I'm
actually.
short-sighted.
Yeah.
Oh, Tokyo.
yeah, Tokyo. Brent tried to put the camera on me. Iman?
Vegan chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
Sorry.
And then looking forward to all of us being vegan.
Boy, bye.
You've been waiting for
gonna happen.
time.
Hey, hey, Esther's almost there, man.
You know,
Wow.
yeah.
Are
'cause-
you? What, are you pescatarian?
No,
See?
I'm not.
Just because
so-
she's counting out dairy, you think she's almost there.
It is a step in the right direction.
What have you done?
So basically, with my treats, I go for the vegan options.
Oh, with your treats.
My treats, I can't do it with the actual food
Yet.
Okay.
yet, but that would be like years. But I feel like I will always be like vegan.
But what's the
with
reason
sprinkle
though?
like soya and stuff.
What's the reason for going for the vegan?
Because I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh,
And
okay.
lactose has nearly killed me twice this year already, so I'm just not going to do it anymore.
It doesn't matter the reason, as long as,
Part of it,
that's it.
part of the community. Not the crazy ones that pour like cow's milk on people's cars
Nah,
and
nah,
stuff there.
those are maniacs.
It's psychos.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, is that Brent? You have something?
What do you want to say?
Looking forward to everyone being vegan.
Oh,
If I gave him that, so that doesn't really count.
The day black people get revenge for slavery.
No revenge.
Wow.
What
I'm
made you go with
joking,
that first? So revenge, you know. That's what that would be a deadly day, though. But Brent,
I think I'm just looking forward to the weekend, to be honest. Sleep.
sleep.
Yeah.
I feel you.
But and you got no bookings?
What?
And you got no...
You said, don't you have work to do?
Don't you have bookings on the
So you
weekend?
can't sleep because you got work.
I'm just asking.
I start later on Saturday, so I'll be able to lie in.
Have a lion.
Oh,
Okay.
That was a fair question from Margs, though.
No, it wasn't.
No,
It was legit.
Wasn't it?
No,
I
think
thought it
a shady
was
question.
fair.
How's that shady? He's talking about I want to sleep all week. What type of sleep? You filming
I didn't
it?
say I wanted to sleep.
He
all
basically
weekend.
said,
I'm looking forward to sleep.
He ain't getting on
yeah,
the
he
sleep.
just said, we're looking to say, you're like, I don't know. Didn't sit right with me, that one.
Why? That was a legit question.
No, it wasn't.
Of course it was.
No, it
Have you
wasn't.
not got bookings all weekend? From like you've always got bookings every second of the day.
But what if he took
Brent's
the day
always
off and
busy.
told people that he's not available and he just wants to sleep?
Then he should
The man
convey that.
deserves to sleep. He's up here every single
No,
day.
of course.
I think it was a fair question. I'll be
Of course
honest
you
with
do.
you.
You said it. You're bound to think that. But yeah, okay. That's a positive. All right, should we get into our first headline?
Let's do it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So the first headline, it looks like the UK is looking to ban imports of Russian diamonds because of the latest sanctions following the invasion of Ukraine. 1 second, people.
Of course, they look to ban it, and haven't they been stealing them? How can you ban yourself from stealing? They're just repenting.
Well, the imports of Russian origin copper, aluminium, and nickel will be blocked under new legislation that will be introduced later this year. Rishi Sunak said the UK must show violence and coercion do not reap rewards ahead of the G7 summit in Hiroshima. The Russian diamond industry was worth $4 billion in exports in 2021. The UK government said it was also planning to target 86 more people and companies connected to Vladimir Putin, including people who are actively undermining the impact of existing sanctions. Since Russia's attack on Ukraine, the UK has targeted more than 1,500 individuals and entities and frozen more than £18 billion in assets under the sanctions regime. Last year, the UK, US, Canada, and Japan banned imports of Russian gold in an effort to hit the country's ability to fund the war in Ukraine. Down the Street said that more than 60% of Putin's war chest has been immobilized, which is worth about £275 billion. Next headline takes us to, well, yeah, you'll figure it out. Anyway, so Sinn Féin's deputy leader, Michelle O'Neill, has won a libel case against a Democratic Unionist Party councillor who said that she would be put back in her kennel. That's what I'm saying. Politicians, you know. John Carson made the comments under a Facebook photo of Miss O'Neill in 2021. The Mid and East Antrim Council Alderman will issue a fulsome and genuine apology at a further hearing.
Awesome.
Yeah. The level of damages awarded will be determined at a future hearing. But the defamation proceedings were issued after the comments were posted by Mr. Carson on social media in April of 2021. He subsequently apologized online, but was suspended by a local government standards watchdog for 3 months. It said that the comments made by Mr. Carson were unreasonable and misogynistic. Lawyers for Miss O'Neill told the High Court that the comments were defamatory, but by characterizing her as a subservient and incompetent female politician. The posting was demeaning, misogynistic, and was directed at core features of her womanhood and was motivated by personal bigotry and political gain. This is what the court was told. And the last headline takes us to Florida. The other day we were talking about Ron DeSantis, and because of his back and forth, the Walt Disney Company has scrapped a plan to invest nearly $1 billion to build a new corporate campus in Florida. The reversal comes amid an escalating feud between the entertainment giant and the state's Republican-led government headed by Ron DeSantis. The plan would have seen about 2,000 employees relocate to the Disney-owned town center of Lake Nona, which is near Orlando. Disney and Florida have both sued each other in recent weeks. The cancellation was announced in an internal email to employees, including some who had relocated to Florida ahead of the campus's opening on Thursday. The Lake Nona initiative had previously been driven by a former CEO, Bob Chapek, who was fired by Disney in November. In the internal email, seen by BBC News, Josh DeMauro, who's the head of Disney's Parks, Experiences and Products division, said that the company's decision was a result of considerable changes that have taken place since it was first announced, including new leadership and changing business conditions. He also wrote that this was not an easy decision to make, but he believed it was the right one. And that's it for the headlines.
All right, let's get into topic of the day.
All right, so today's topic of the day, yeah. Like I said, I think it was yesterday. I think I said it on there, I'm not too sure. But I said it was pretty much going to be like a part 2 of a conversation that we had on Monday or Tuesday, right? With marriage, the ideas of marriage, all that type of stuff, right? And it kind of stems from Gabrielle Union's recent interview, right? That she had, I believe, a few days ago. So, Ben, if you don't mind, can you click on that link and go to that timestamp, please? But basically, just to give you a bit of context, basically, she's just talking about her career and whatnot. And then she then goes into the whole thing about earning, right? And how she kind of contributes equal amounts to the bills as Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is worth about, I don't know, 100-something million, right? She's obviously not on that level. But she says she earns 50%. Sorry, pays 50%. And so everyone was outraged by this, right? And so the question is, why was everyone outraged? In this modern day society where women want to be equal, 50-50 and share everything, except the, you know what I'm saying, the bill at dinner, right? Why is there an issue?
Because it's only when it favours us, to be honest.
Okay. Honesty.
I mean, to be quite candid and to be quite frank with you, you know, I only want equality when it benefits
favours you.
me. So
Fantastic.
Do you know what? I don't think necessarily it was about equality. I think it was, there's like a big margin between both of their salaries or their wages.
Okay.
So do you know what it is? You see, being a provider, yeah, to me, it's a mentality.
Okay.
It's not necessarily what you earn and stuff like that, because a man can be struggling, but in his mind, because he's a provider, he will struggle to cover everything, as that's what he's taken on as a responsibility. So I think for me, it was just like, I just found it a bit strange. Not that she can't do that. At the end of the day, that's their marriage.
Yeah.
But for him to earn so much and for her to still contribute 50, that's obviously her choice, which is fine, because I've contributed 50% before. I just thought, wouldn't you just want to, as the man, especially earning that much more than her, cover everything?
What about if she's the one that wants to?
Or majority.
What if she wants to pay
That's
her
what I
way
said. That's what I said.
That's
It's
my
obviously
one,
her, but I think it is her choice. It's her thing where she's probably like, no, I want to do this. I want to do that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. But
But I feel like she kind of commands that energy though. Because remember we spoke about her, I think she spoke about her previous marriage. I don't know if it's in a book or something.
oh, the one where she
In
said
the
she cheated on
interviews.
him because she was earning more.
Yeah. So I feel like she's always had that kind of masculine energy anyway. So I can see her wanting to, obviously I don't know her personally, but just the way she moves, I can see her wanting to do 50-50 because like you don't take care of me, kind of like almost like an ego thing, basically. But I think that what Maxie said is where the outrage would come from in terms of if the way they earn is significantly different, why would I be doing 50%? Do you get what I mean? If there's such a clear difference in the earnings.
If, for example, Bezos, right, who's worth, let's just say 100-something billion, right, is married to a woman who's worth 100 million, is there really that much difference in their wages in terms of practicality? Because at the end of the day, your light bill doesn't cost 10 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much excess that it doesn't really matter if we share 50-50 or if I pay for it all. So why does the difference in their wage even factor into this?
I think it would depend on your financial goals. I think that's really where it comes to. That's what it would. If there's differences and your outgoings are not that much, where if you both do 50-50, you're not going to feel it that much, then that's fair. But if you have investments, for example, if he's got more businesses than she does, so say the business fails, he's got to contribute to this, or she's got, whatever the situation, I feel like your financial situations is what will determine how much we're really putting into. I think when people have the 50-50 conversation, they talk about just bills, but it's beyond like matters of the household in terms of light, electricity, gas, and whatever. It's also, say you have other commitments, you might be taking care of your family for whatever reason. So that will dip into whatever it is that you have left and all that kind of stuff. Do you get what I mean? So,
I'm glad you mentioned that because she kind of touched on that in the clip, which Brent's going to play the audio for right now.
Brent is so funny.
I'm curious, at what point did you develop that first sense of security and that the work is coming and as long as I keep knocking it out, there's gonna be more, and there isn't this sort of sense of the rug is could still be pulled out?
I struggle with that still, just because I think I just have more responsibilities, you know, for my money. So I get nervous, like, oh God, that movie didn't open, you know, well, what does that mean? Am I gonna have enough to hold everybody up? And everyone's like, it's coming, like, calm down. And I'm trying to find peace in the journey, not using my anxiety and scarcity mindset to be my engine, which is hard. It's weird to say I'm head of household, because in this household, we split everything 50-50. But in the other households that each of us have to support, it puts there's always this like gorilla on your back that it is like, you better work, bitch. You better work. You better work. You know, you gonna sleep in? You know, somebody might not eat. Come on, you gotta work. And it's hard. It's hard to let that go. So I'm working on that.
Okay, cool. Go, Maxie.
Do you know what I feel about her? Obviously, I don't know her personally, but you see, what is it? Being Mary Jane.
Do you know what's so crazy? I was like,
That's
this is
her.
that's her. I was
No,
gonna say
they
that
said
is her.
play yourself.
No,
That's what they
literally.
said.
They said, you know when she said, oh, the other household.
Yes.
I thought, nah.
I
This
didn't
is
want to see them. I
Parnella.
thought this
This is
Yeah.
Parnella all
Yeah.
over again.
Yeah.
And Niecy
Yep.
and them. Literally. No, she actually played herself in that whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell.
Basically, in being Mary Jane, she was the head. She was a breadwinner, I guess. She took care of her family, took care of her niece, took care of her brother.
Everyone.
She was always the one had financial responsibilities for like 5 households.
Yeah.
So sounds like.
I think she's got an issue with being the, for lack of a better word, the inferior one.
Okay.
I think she's got something in her mind that she can't not be the, like she can't either not be equal
She can't
or
be
above.
independent.
Yeah.
What about if she just look, she's got it in it. You know what I'm trying to say? So she knows her value and knows her worth, so she wants it in it. And it's regardless, it doesn't matter about a man I earn as a woman, in it. You know what I'm trying to say? So regardless of all this stuff, when people come together, when we buy that yard, like, this is our house.
Yeah.
And it's going to be our house because I paid for half of it, which I can afford. Regardless of what money you got, I've got money. I'm talking about myself. I'm patting out myself now, innit? I want for myself. I want to do for myself. This ain't about no man patting up for me. You know what I'm trying to say? So, and because she's within her means to do that, that's a choice that she's made for herself. There's nothing wrong with it.
No, not
You know
at
what I'm
all.
saying?
Not at all. There's nothing wrong with it at all. I put down 50%, like, because I want to, not necessarily because my husband can't afford it or whatever it is. That's a choice that I choose to make because I just can't.
Yeah,
I think I've got like a thing where I just can't not contribute to something.
Where she's famous and that, she's dealing with other famous men. She's dealing with wealthy men, like how much money Dwayne Wade is worth and whatever, in it, yeah. And again, she's got her own worth. She's building up. She ain't never gonna be in a position where man can tell her, get out of the yard, my house, my thing. You know what
That's what I'm saying. So is it a thing where she's actually doing it to kind of protect herself?
Maybe, but
not
it's
necessarily
like,
because she wants to.
Well, maybe she's got it within her means, though. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, she
But
earns
there's a
that
lot of
kind of
women
money.
that have it within their means, and the husband will still be like, "I'm going to take it." So is she doing it to protect herself?
But they wouldn't. Maybe it is to protect herself because from the sounds of it, them kind of women probably wouldn't mind when. You get me? Like when the levels get set, a man said, "My house, my area." They probably wouldn't mind. They set up for that, innit? They probably want to be, I don't know, ladies of leisure or whatever. They're cool with that, innit? I don't think in her mind, that's not her story.
Yeah, I do think as well though, her past relationships have played a part in it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like in the other relationships she talked about, I don't know other relationships she's been on, but the one she spoke about, she was the one who was providing and stuff. So I think if she's been in relationships where she's always been the provider, it is difficult for you to learn now, to unlearn how to be that, even if your man is earning more than you. Who knows? He might have said, "Let me do everything," but because it's not something she's usually comfortable with,
I do think
it's difficult. It's difficult for her to let go in such a way. But
then when you have conversations like this with her talking about how she feels the pressure of having to make sure she's always got a job, she's always doing something so she can maintain all of these responsibilities. Doesn't that kind of like defeat the purpose?
No, but you know how some people
Why would you think that though?
Only because like you don't necessarily need to struggle and put that additional pressure on yourself if your husband, right, can just be like, I've got this for 2 months.
No, but she's living her raps though. You get me? Everyone's on the equality thing, and she's living her raps. It's other people you need to worry about. It's just not she's doing what what they're preaching, innit? Equality, like she's living it. She's doing it. It's not. It's like that. Why would she do it? It's not extra pressure. Like she's cool. She's worked her whole life. You know what I'm trying to say?
But she's saying that. She's saying, oh, you know what? I have to consider certain things because
there's houses that she's got to provide for that ain't got nothing to do with her husband.
Yeah.
So what then? Then what? She's taking responsibility for it.
But she's also doing 50 in their house. So what if Dwayne was like, you know what? I understand these type of responsibilities over there. Cool. I'm not going to interfere. But you don't need to stress yourself about the house we live in.
You know what's crazy? I feel like even if that was the case and Dwayne said, you know, do this and she let him do that, she's always going to feel pressure because she's going to feel bad that this is where her money is. Her money is going to other households and she's not contributing to her house as much as she would like to contribute. So that the way she feels is going to be there. The only way that feeling is going to go is if the people that she has responsibility for are no longer responsibility to her. Because the kind of woman that she seems to be, even if she was to give him control, like full control, she's gonna feel bad at the fact that he's working and this. That you mean, like, it's like the household they live in together is his financial burden, while she's spending all her money outside. So God forbid they had some kind of financial issue, she's gonna feel even worse because it's like, oh damn, and I'm giving my money to other households, but this is what we're going through here. So I feel like she's always gonna feel that. I don't think that feeling is avoidable.
Do you feel like it kind of speaks to her mindset though? Where, because if you notice the words she said my money, right? She also said it's kind of weird me being the head of the household doing 50-50. Do you feel like she kind of wants to do 50-50 so she can say I'm the head of this household?
Do you know
no
what
one's
I was
really
gonna
the
say?
head
For
over
me,
me.
it comes across a bit egotistical because again, it's a choice, right? And it's like you're kind of operating in a place of ego to make yourself feel better or to like make yourself feel
Valued
important and valued and do you know what I mean? That's how it comes across to me.
Okay.
Yeah. I also think where she said that she strives, what did she say? She strives, like she's got so many responsibilities, so she has to continue working or whatever. I can't remember the wording. But I also think it could be the reverse where if she doesn't have that much responsibility, like she's not hot and popping, is she? No. So if she doesn't have that much responsibility and she's now become a woman of leisure where her husband's taking care of her, she might not strive to work as hard as she was working before. It might be a thing that, okay, let me keep all these responsibilities so it keeps me focused and I keep working rather than can be a lady of leisure and everything's taken care of me. Everything's taken care for me. And then she just kind of slacks on the work thing. I don't know. I think it could also be that too.
Do you feel like, because I was having this back and forth with my friend, big up Jackie and Marissa as well. They tune into TDA every day. And we were talking about if it's better for people to be well-rounded individuals. So, for example, worst case scenario, let's say Dwayne Wade left now, right? Or, did what he was doing. She's not in a situation where it's like, crap, how do I provide for myself? 100%. Do you feel like everyone should be in a marriage as a well-rounded individual?
100%.
100%.
I've always advocated for that. For women, make sure
you have something.
And it's not even for you to fall back on. It's for, you never know when the rainy day is going to come. Yeah, it's because a lot of like men will be like, oh, but if I'm doing this, what are you doing? Save your money. Save your money for the children. Save your money for the rainy days. That's what I think you should be. If your husband's taking care of everything, it's your responsibility. That's how I see it. To save your money. Like that's what should be in your mind. Save your money for the rainy days, so that if your husband, whatever happens, you can have it you've got him for, is it 6 months or whatever, just so he can feel less pressure to get back on his feet, if that makes sense.
So you're seeing it as the woman, in the example you're giving, should save the money for a rainy day for us.
100%.
Not necessarily in case he leaves, I'm okay.
I don't have that mentality in a marriage.
Okay then. Okay.
So
do you know what I think it depends on the dynamic of the marriage, of the family. Because women who are like full-time housewives, they don't have the bandwidth to be able to have something else going on. Some women do, but if, for example, you've got like 3 kids or whatever, that you don't always have that bandwidth to be able to then do something where it is that. But I think where you can do, which is like I've seen like women who are like housewives and stuff do, is that yes, it brings the money in, but they're the ones who will calculate, okay, the money's going to go here, we can save here, we can do. Do you know what I mean? So they are, whilst he's one bringing the money in, they're also not leaving all the finances just to him.
Yeah.
They're also they're involved in the finances of the household. So they're the ones who are like, okay, so rainy day we can do this. If we want to go on holiday, we can do this. And do you know what I mean? So I think you can be, your involvements and being well all-rounded isn't just in both of you working. It can be you're working outside, but I'm working in the household.
Yeah.
So if a rainy day does come, actually, the salary that comes into the joint account, I've been saving this and putting this here.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? I think there's different ways to show, to be all-rounded rather than, there's different ways to be well-rounded, all-rounded or whatever, outside of both of you going to work.
There was a couple actually where the man worked, the woman didn't.
On TikTok? The Asian lady?
Yeah, and he, every time he had his page, he gave it to her.
He gave it to her.
And she organised everything. Like, she
and he
organises
trusts
everything.
her because she is calculated to a T. He was like, I don't know where the money goes, but I see that everything is running as it needs to run.
Yeah.
The money is checking the way it needs to be checking the savings in the it made sense. Like their dynamic was so
It was
sick.
sweet.
Beautiful, man.
It was sweet.
I'll do that.
But I guess that kind of makes sense because, I mean, obviously, no disrespect, right? But, because I don't mean it this way at all.
Here comes disrespect.
Here we go.
But I mean, like, she's at home, innit? You know what I'm saying? So she can, I guess, afford to be very efficient in that area, making sure everything's run while he's out there working. You know what I'm saying? But in situations where the man and a woman is working, right? Do you feel like sometimes that dynamic, especially today, where a lot of the, let's just say most people still conform to the traditional gender roles, right? But yet both man and woman are working. Do you feel like that kind of causes problems? Because it's like, wait a minute, why is the man expecting you to do this? Or what, and why am I actually doing this when we do the same thing most hours of the day?
I think again that's an upbringing and a mentality thing. Because
Okay.
even though obviously me and my husband work, I have it in my head that I'm gonna cook. I can't think any other way, honestly.
Yeah.
It's different if my husband's like, okay, let me cook today, or let me do whatever. It's or taking care of the children. I might say to him, oh, can you fix the kids' dinner or something? But I see that as my responsibility.
Your role.
Okay.
I just see it, even though we both work.
So if he came back home one day and he's like, oh, long day, came back home, and obviously you've been busy taking care of the kids after work, right? Pick them up and everything. And he's thinking, they ain't no food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, would you feel as though there's some audacity if he was to be like, yo, Maxie, where's my food?
If he was like that.
Yeah. Because he's hungry, you know what I'm saying? And obviously he's been working all day. He's come back home and he's expecting at least, hopefully, there'll be something there for me to eat. But there isn't.
Well, based on pattern, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If that's what normally happens, then I can't be upset for him thinking, oh, where's dinner? If that happens normally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gina, how would you react if that was the case?
Why are you asking me for?
I'm just asking.
Don't try it. You think I'm a thug. No, I'm joking. No, I think I agree with Maxie, but do you know what? Mine's just tone of voice, isn't it? Because I'm not going to lie. You see the way you said it to her? I thought, yeah, it's communication.
Yeah.
Like Maxie said, like if it's the norm, then I get it. Do you get what I mean? But I guess it's just the communication on how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can either allow it to go left or right. So the decision is yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask all of you guys, yeah. Do you guys conform to traditional gender roles? So in your homes, right? If you're married already or if you're going to be, whatever it may be, right? Do you feel as though some of the ideas of traditional gender roles should be exacted in my house? And I
think I'm quite traditional.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Mine's yes and no.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah. It just depends on what needs to be done and if I can do it.
Okay.
If I can do it and my husband's not around, I'll do it. I'm not going to wait for him to do it, if that makes sense. If the bins needs to be taken out, I'll take the bins out. Even though that's normally what he does. But if the bin's full, I'm taking it out. So, and then in terms of like the children as well, both of us, it's kind of it's a bit equal. with that one. Baths, normally it's me that does the baths, but he can make dinner, he can make lunch for the children. So,
Okay.
yeah. But in terms of taking care of him, it is kind of traditional.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marcus.
With me,
Yeah.
I ain't married.
Yeah, but
So
like in the future, let's just say you're married, what and whatnot. Do you feel as though you would like subscribe to traditional gender roles?
Oh, 100%.
Would you want? Okay.
I ain't going
You
out
say I
now.
ain't playing no games. Ain't going like that.
Yeah. I ain't even going out no girl that ain't got OCD. She don't like to cook and clean and thing. She's finished.
All right. And that's that.
I think
Sorry.
yeah. You wanna change that? You wanna clean that up a little bit?
It's just it's just because, yeah, when you go and meet someone, yeah, I think there should be a partnership in it. You need someone, yeah.
You are a phony.
Now you want to give context. Because you thought about it and you thought, shit, I'm ruining my career.
It's sunk in and he said, I'm gonna clean that up. Come back on me.
I'm just saying, innit? I feel like it should be a partnership, innit? You need someone that compliments you, someone that's, you know what I'm trying to say? So we bring things to the table. There's things that I can do that you never even thought of, and this is how it works, innit? And I need someone that's gonna be like, not like my other half, like my better half, innit? So the places where I fall short, I need them to pick up the slack. And those are the kind of areas where I'm gonna need the support. So if she's not on all that, it's not really gonna work for me. You know what I'm trying to say? We both can't be in the yard, and you know what I'm trying to say? Like someone's gotta be the housekeeper. It's facts.
And you feel that should still be the case if both of you are going out to work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Final answer?
definitely.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because that's the rules. That's the rules, isn't
Since
it?
when did you abide by rules?
Okay.
Just saying.
That's true.
You know my
When
thing
did
is do what
you-
I say, not what I do.
Oh, here we go.
No, let's have it right. This is it's not. There's double standards here. That's fine, but it's not about. Don't be looking at me and be worrying about what I be doing. That's crazy. You can't do that. It's mental. You got to worry about yourself and what you can control. You get me? That's fair enough. And if I'm going to bring what I'm bringing to the table and play my role, then I don't want to hear that. If I'm falling short, then that's different. You get me?
Okay.
And what is that?
Just
Both of you are working.
Hmm?
So it's not money.
no, but it's leading the household, man. It's leading the household. I'm big on like building and growing and making the plans for the future, and you know what I'm trying to say, like what we're gonna do, whether we're financially, whether we can come together and do something, whether there's businesses involved, whether we're gonna, you know what I'm trying to say, that I don't just want to sit here. So I've got a vision for where I'm going. If you're with me, you're coming along with me, innit? I'm handling that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and just as the man role, just for everything, like normal stuff, like typical stuff that you won't even really think about. But I got you through everything, like protection, everything. Maybe it's not going to be just monetary because you're working, innit? But there's bare different things. I don't know, like, I could come and show you things to improve you, how to help you use your money, like investments or whatever, like different things that you're not looking at. I can get things, babe, look, we can come do this, boom, 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 build and go together. I'm going to play my part to lead us to the promised land, innit? You get me? Because I'm the head of the ship. I'm the captain. So I'm going to steer it wherever I want to go, wherever I see fit. But wherever I bring you, it's going to be proper. That's all.
Do you think that if
My
like
goodness.
What?
Everyone was saying, I don't get anything you just said.
You don't need to. I'm not taking
I
you
don't
there.
know what it is that you said.
You're not coming from
You're not coming. You're not
I
coming.
don't know what you
You are
said.
not a
You were bringing to the
passenger on
table.
this
You're not coming.
Advice on investment portfolio, is that what you said?
Luxo.
Idiot.
You get what I'm saying? Are you crazy? I'm putting you on. I'm putting you on to game.
Oh, damn, man.
Do you think, like, in a marriage or in a relationship, if one person is slacking in their responsibility, that automatically gives you the right to remove some of your, like, slack in yours?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, you should pull them up about it and bring it. Because if you drop and then they drop and then the whole level's dropping, everybody's messed up.
Now you're
Because
broke.
some people, like, when I read comments, and I think sometimes this comes from women as well. Oh, if he's not doing his part, then why should I? Why should I?
But then it affects I feel like that's
Yeah.
a bad mindset though, because then it affects everybody. And if you've got kids, it will affect your kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I actually believe, like, even in like partnerships and marriage and stuff, Like if there was times where, say we're both consistently working and my husband like, you know, I actually need a break. I'm happy to pick up more for you to have that break that you need. And then obviously if I was in a position where I needed a break, then you would pick up more. Do you know what I mean? I just feel like that's how a union should be.
What if it wasn't like, oh, I need a break? He just was slacking.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about it. Why are you slacking? Because there might be something going on. Like I wouldn't, there's nothing, someone else's shortfalls cannot make me react in that way because it's not in my nature to be half committed to things. So that's what you're doing over there. And while I'm doing what I'm doing, we're going to try and figure out why it is that you're falling short. So we'll have to figure that out. But someone doing less of what is required of them, that I'm going to call it a disease for what it is, but it never spreads to me. Like if I'm in a team and everyone's falling short in what they should be doing, that's not something that I ever then take on and start falling short. It's not in my nature to move that way. Do you get what I mean? I think when it's marriage, when it's your partner, when it's someone you're building a life with, what's going on? Let's address it for however long the period might be uncomfortable, whatever, but let's address it. But when it comes to like roles and stuff, I believe in joints. I would say I'm a cultural person, I'm a traditional person, but I'm not traditional. So I believe in doing things together. Yes, I know there's certain things that will be required of me. Like say we have children, I'll be the one to carry the child, I'll be the one to breastfeed, whatever. But it's not a thing. Like I feel like the way I see marriage and unions is that we help each other. Where I'm struggling, you pick up for me. Where you're struggling, I pick up for you. And you don't have to even see me struggle.
Good morning.
You just want to help. So it's a thing where caller, you go to work all day. I've been at home with the baby or whatever. When you come, you unwind for a little bit, but then midnight feed, you're gonna get up and feed the baby and stuff. For me, that's really what it is. So I wouldn't say I'm traditional because it's all about joint stuff for me. And whenever we have these conversations, I don't think about stuff being 50-50 down the middle. I don't think that's possible. I don't think, because for me, that's a petty thing. I'm not going to be like, well, I woke up 4 nights and you woken up 2 and that's not 50-50. Do you get what I mean? It's more, we help each other and that's the vibe I'm on. Morning, caller.
Morning, this is Jackie.
Morning, Jackie.
First time caller.
Morning, Jackie.
Hey, so my question is, I've just tuned in at 9 o'clock, so I might have missed some. If a man predominantly is the head of the household because he's the breadwinner, what happens if he earns the most? Say, for example, he earns 200K, but he does nothing else. He's not good at investments. He's not good at managing his own money, but he earns good money. Does that not fall back on the woman where she then is managing the household with the bills, which the majority of women do as well? Like they know where the bank account is, they know who Empower's been paid to, they know when things are coming out. So if he earns more, but she still does the leadership roles, is he still the head of the household just because he brings in more money? But she's doing the wisdom. I don't know if you've watched Jumping the Broom with T.D. Jakes' film, whereby the man, they're very wealthy, they come from the highbrow society, the woman predominantly, and the man loses the money through bad investments. But she thankfully had something saved in the back secretly. But who's the head of the household if you bring the money, but then I'm doing everything else still? I'm leading the ship. I'm telling you, hey, this Bitcoin is the one to invest in. Hey, this is the one. This is where the kids should go. We should buy this property in this area. Who's leading?
I feel like it's in that's because we did talk about that previously, but I think for me, it's not a matter of like this is the head. I feel like when you're the head of household, sometimes it's got like an undertone of ego of like I'm the one in charge kind of thing. In this kind of scenario where he's not good with investments and finances and stuff, but she is, that's a partnership.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're both building the home. So it's not a thing of like you're the head because you be like being the head of the household. There's no criteria of you tick this, that makes you head kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like a CV. So for me, this kind of relationship is something that we obviously talk about or whatever, but it's a partnership. So they're making it work and they're making it do what it needs to do. And I think if it was a thing where neither of them was skilled at this, then we sit down, now we've got an accountant. We figure it out. Do you get what I mean? So I would say that's a partnership. Because again, I feel like that's why I said things are not always going to be 50-50 down the middle, because it's about each person's skills and what each person is able to do. And so I might be more skilled at this, so I will handle it, even though society may see that as a male role. But then if you're more skilled at something that society sees as a feminine role, whatever it is, we're just making the household work.
Yeah. I don't think having investments or investing in stuff, and I don't see that as a leadership role. As you said, that's more of a skill. That's something that you're knowledgeable in. And there's nothing wrong with teaching your husband. If you're good at it, there's nothing wrong with bringing your husband, be like, babe, this is what you have, like, this is what I'm doing. And then you just kind of exchange that knowledge there. I don't think that doesn't make him the head of the household. And as you said, the head of the household isn't that you tick, tick, tick this and all that. For me, it's just a respect thing. Like, not that I can't run the house. I can probably run the house too. But as my husband, I give you that respect. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, and I think like head of the household conversation as well would depend on your spiritual faith. Like, so for me, my husband will always be the head of the household, but that doesn't mean I'm his subordinate. That doesn't mean I'm lesser than. That doesn't mean anything. It just means that if we have to come to like decisions, I'm not steering the ship alone. I'm acknowledging the fact that, like, you are the father, you are the husband in this household, and so we'll come to an understanding. That doesn't also mean that if he, like, I can't make decisions or anything like that. But I think for me, it's a faith thing.
What, you don't have final say on the decision?
I agree with you,
I
Esther.
was
So,
just about
I'm saying
to
he
say,
doesn't
if-
have
final
final
they
say.
say-
If you two can't come to a agreement, who has the final say?
I don't think it's going to be a final say thing.
Well, then,
No, there has to be.
Why?
There has to
be.
be. If you all let me finish my sentence. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, for me, like, if we can't come to an agreement about something, we have to sit down and weigh up pros and cons.
That's still not.
And that's
You
how
can't
it
come.
is.
That's trying to agreement. There's no agreement. You can't meet the agreement. Who
Let's
has
just
the
say,
final
yeah.
say?
It would depend on the. It would actually depend.
But
on
then
the
I think-
situation is. It really would depend. I can't say.
I think also-
So
who has the
then you
final-
would say, okay, it's my way and this is just what it is.
But that's the thing, though. I don't think on a it's my way and that's what it is.
No, once
it would depend on what it is that we're thinking about.
That's what I'm saying. So once you've analysed everything, you've weighed up the pros and cons and you still can't come to a decision, he's just like, I don't like, you're like, I don't like. Who has the final say?
We're getting to the pastor.
so can I say something?
You can't.
Just
Sorry,
try-
caller. Sorry,
Just trying
babes.
to open up long, sorry.
Yeah, sometimes you can't, like, we both believe what we believe and we're not going to get anywhere. And if I think your idea is stupid and you think mine is stupid, how can I give into a stupid idea? So we have to now get external, external influences to help us get there.
No external influence can't influence my household.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
Mine,
will
they
you
can.
always get external influences when you can't come? Because that there may be many times.
Jackie.
Oh,
So,
sorry,
Jackie.
Sorry, Jackie.
So, Jackie.
Yeah. So a realistic, I'll give you a real example when maybe the man wants the child to go to a particular regular school and the wife is saying, no, I want her to go to a private school because I know the benefits. And he's saying, no, I want them to go to this school in this area. It's equally as good, but you've got the conflicts there and you're both right. So if you keep going to the pastor and someone that's superior, that means he's not the head of the household. He's only the head of the household when you agree. But back to my point as well is, why is it that what you were saying, biblically they say the man is the head, the woman is the neck. But we're okay to do partnership when it comes to leadership, and we don't mind because a lot of women direct the financial. If you look at men, successful men, they'll say, I couldn't have done it without my wife. So they give the credit to the wife. But when it comes to finances, there's typically before people marry, they're like, oh, no, the man has to be the head, he has to be the breadwinner. But the minute they get in, it's like, no, I don't mind co-leading. When in fact, that's not biblical. He's supposed to lead. So if he says, my child is going to this school down the road, that's what you should technically do.
Nah, I'll be honest,
Because he's the
we're
head.
doing-
It's not, I've
we're doing
given
trial
the
and
points
error.
and I've weighed out the option. Now I'm going to bring my uncle in because my uncle's, or I'm going to give all these little other examples. That's also manipulating the situation because he's the head. I'm going to try and persuade him. Whereas when it comes to money, there's no conversation about that. There's no partnership when it comes to that. Typically, when people talk about being a breadwinner, they say the man should be the breadwinner. Typically, when it comes to leadership, it's like, oh, we're doing it co. But biblically, it says the man should be the head.
Is
Why is that?
Does your husband have the final say on the decision in your household?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Plead the
is
fifth.
that across the board?
Across the board.
Because
Oh,
you're
in
gonna
every
do what
matter.
are you gonna do what, like Esther did? Are you picking and choosing? Like, are you saying like across the board he gets the final say whether I like it or not, good, bad, or indifferent?
Yeah, but there's been situations where the thing is you have to be smart about it, and as
So
a
we're going
wife,
to come back to what Esther said, by the way. What that meant.
as a wife, you have to pick
Thank you, I'm going
your
now. Thank you so
battles
much.
wisely.
Thank you very much,
Thank
Jackie.
Oh,
Jackie.
thank you. Yeah, you have to pick your battles wisely, and sometimes I know it's going to sound
You've
bad.
got to lose the battle to win the war.
One, yes, and two, sometimes you just have to let him make a decision and just let him fall. And that's just what it is. 'Cause there's sometimes where you know you're this, you know my one's best, but cool, you want to do your thing, no problem. And then next time he'll be like, okay, babe, like, let's go with your one. Like, you have to just, it's just some wisdom.
I'll be honest,
Not me. No, because my way's always going to be better.
I'm petty. Like, I don't know. Like, this is actually.
Wait, no, I'm not stupid, you know.
So great.
If I saw that her way was better, we'll do it.
Go with that way. Yeah.
There's no ego,
But
no
sometimes
problem
you
here.
can't, though.
Oh, so the final way in that scenario is you deciding to basically go away.
Yeah, it's still my choice.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying earlier. That's what I was.
That's how I see it.
It's
as
still
well.
my choice.
No, but that's what I was saying. What? So your choice to go with her choice.
Yeah, I still.
But it is
But it is
I said
though.
it's still my choice to go with her choice. I'm still technically got the final say.
Facts.
Ego. That's what that is.
Alright.
But that's what I was saying about like sometimes. That's what I'm saying about like getting external help where you can. Not that every situation I'm gonna always run to somebody, but there's certain things where not everyone's able to detach their ego from something.
Yeah.
If he thinks no, like what I'm intelligent and what I've said is smart, whatever. Now this is like we're not at one point we're probably not thinking objectively now about how we should be thinking, but I think it would just depend on the situations. But I'm co breadwinning, co leadership, co everything.
Yeah, but you know,
Until
I feel like if it gets to a point where you guys are really like at loggerheads, you're just like, I'm standing on mine and I'm standing on mine. Honestly, and this is just my opinion, it shows your lack of respect for him. That's just my opinion, because if you respect him enough, you just be like, all right, cool, whatever. And it's not that he doesn't respect your opinion, as I said, because as I said, sometimes you just have to just pick your battles wisely. And it's just, as I said, I feel like there shouldn't really be. There are times, I can't lie. I'm not saying every time's gonna be perfect, and you're gonna find, and it's gonna hurt sometimes. Sometimes your ego's gonna be bruised as a woman. Like women, we have egos as well. Our ego's gonna be bruised, but if it is a thing where you say he's the head of the house and you respect him, and it's not that the respect isn't reciprocated either, but there are times where you have to show, okay, you're the head of the house. And at the end of the day, whatever it is,
At
it
what
goes.
point does he lose your trust in him? If he keeps on doing the wrong thing
If he keeps doing the wrong thing,
and he doesn't basically come to the light and go your way the next time.
that's when we get external help. Because the thing is that you can't even identify that. Or now, to me, it's now an ego issue. Because you can't identify that you're actually making the wrong decision. You're just going because I'm the head of the house and I'm going to do it. Then it's an extent, I'm just like, okay, cool, babe, like, I don't agree with this one. And then sometimes it's a third party that will help you kind of see clearly and be like, yeah, bro, I'm not sure about this one. So
But he's like Mags. He doesn't believe you'll need help.
You can't be. If he's like me, he's amazing and
So
great. He's not
external
going to be in that
sources.
problem. These are the
Yeah, man,
conflicting
I get it.
issues.
Yeah.
You can't be like me and be an idiot. They don't make sense.
At all.
So you're using the wrong example.
Sorry.
Do you feel me? Like,
Sorry, Keely.
Yeah, I feel like
you
then
haven't
it's just an
answered.
ego issue, but go on, sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Iman. So you haven't answered the question you asked all of us
What's the question?
in terms of like how do you see gender roles?
I thought you guys would know. Traditional.
But is that how you operate as well?
Oh, for sure.
do you have the final say in your household?
Oh, of course.
Okay, sorry.
No, not
Talk your shit.
of course.
Talk your shit.
Not in a bad way.
Ask a
But
stupid
just
question.
because I feel like that's just the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? And like both of you are basically saying, if you're wise enough to make the right decisions over and over, why should it change?
Hear that?
Sorry.
All right, but I wanted to ask a question, yeah. Like, even though like we know certain gender roles are kind of ingrained in social conditioning and this and the third, right? And we know a lot of the time, unless you women can correct me, right? A lot of the time, women are like, oh, I want my man to be the breadwinner, right? Or at least I want him to earn a certain amount of money, right? In situations where a woman earns a lot of money herself, let's just say 100K plus, right? Why is that even still a consideration?
That what?
That he has to earn more than me?
Because
Because she wants someone on the level.
But why does that even matter that much? If, for example, let's just say,
Because she might subscribe to them gender roles and then it's going to mess up the dynamics of the relationship. If she was earning 100K a year and he's on minimum wage and was
it depends on how. Yeah,
it will mess up the dynamics of their relationship. He's not going to be able to be the man that she needs him to be.
I don't get it. So I don't get the question.
Oh, so you know, a lot of time, women are like, oh, I want my man to be the breadwinner, or at least earn a certain amount of money, earn more than me a lot of the time, right? Even though in reality that's not always the case. But before they get into a situation, they're hoping that's the case, right? If the woman is doing really well, though, she's thriving in her particular industry or whatever, she's earning at least, let's just say 100K, right? Why is that still a requirement for her? So for example...
Okay, that's what you're talking about, dynamics.
Yeah.
But then also, isn't it a case of like, you might have a certain like standard of life that you want to live, right?
Yes.
That you're accustomed to. And then getting with someone who isn't at that level might cause friction and issues in your relationship. And that's not even because you're making them feel that type of way, but they just can't keep up with how you live. Do you get what I mean?
I think I get what you're saying.
That's literally what I'm talking about. It's just everything. The whole dynamics of the relationship ain't going to be able to work. So she needs someone that can be on their level.
Especially if it's like a man who's, especially if it's a man who is like, he thinks traditionally of, I should be the one providing, I should be this. Now we can't even go to Pakistan because you want to be the one to provide and your check-in cleared.
No, but let's just say, for example, like I was saying, she earns 100K, he earns 50K. That's it. That's like twice the average in this country, right? That he's earning.
Yeah.
That, like, no one's struggling with Pakistan, really. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it depends on what you're, you know what I'm trying to say.
It depends on what the disparity. I think it depends on the disparity.
Yeah, because it will still show up, because you know what it is? Some men don't like being kept.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? They don't like the idea of, say they're planning out like a holiday, the woman's the one who's paid for it. Or when we go, yes, he can, like, he's 50K can book the holiday, but the spending money, souvenirs, all the activities is coming from her check. Some men have an issue with that.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So that's where that will show up.
So you're saying she's kind of preempting for the man. Because remember, she's finding the man. Like, she ain't got the man yet. She's saying to herself, I want a man who's like this. So maybe, are you trying to say she's basically saying, I know men will kind of think this way, so I'm going to avoid them and get the men who kind of earn more?
I think people do that anyway with a lot of things. That you just want to be equally yoked in every way. So I think, again, like Mark was saying, if I'm single and I'm earning this and I'm like, do you know, I want to be with a man who's that, is because, again, that's my standard. And I'm bringing that to the table. So
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, everyone picks and chooses what they want.
I don't think it's preempting. I think it's just, that's what I want.
Okay. So a lot of the time, again, I'm definitely generalizing here, right? Before people start talking. But a lot of the time, women, especially who are doing well, thriving, right, say, well, I don't need a man. I can do this alone. This, that, and the third, right? Why are you looking at me? Right? But if that's the case and you're earning 100K, why does the man's salary matter if you can do it all alone?
Because the thing is, if you're not bringing any value to what I've got going on already, then it's pointless.
So value is what? Monetary?
No, as in, like, it doesn't have to be monetary, but do you know what I mean? It's like, if you're going to come with stress...
No, you're going the extreme, though.
No, it's not even extreme.
That's it, it's reality.
Because it's reality. Because you know
stress.
what? No, do you know what it is? Remember, being in a relationship, is going to give you stress regardless.
Okay.
Because you're dealing with another human being.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? Like, you're having to take on board somebody else and factor them into your life, and vice versa. It's not an easy playing field. Like, I'm not saying that it's the worst thing in the world, but do you understand what I mean? Like, having to accommodate somebody else in your life, especially when you've been by yourself for so long and you're so accustomed to what you're doing, it's a challenge. So it's like, if you're gonna now come into my space and we're not even really on the same page in terms of like how I live and stuff, I don't think it's worth the additional stress if I'm actually okay on my own. Do you understand what I mean?
Okay. Makes sense.
That's me though.
That is me as well.
I think it depends on what you're looking for, because if you are well off as a woman, some women aren't looking for the man to come on and start paying for everything. They want companionship. They want, do you get what I'm saying? So it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a man to come and to take care, like now you're paying half, or now you want him to pay 70%, then that's different. You're going to have to look for somebody on your level. But some women aren't looking for that. However, I do think it does change the dynamics of the relationship when the woman is earning significantly more than the man. Like, and I don't even think, it might not necessarily come from, it might all be preempted from the woman. It might not necessarily even come from the man, because even the time when my husband started, like, he's always been entrepreneurial. So I've always had the steady job and he's always done whatever. So as you guys know, it's up and down. So there were times where it was down for him and I'd give him my card. Like, he'd have my card. I didn't like that if we went out, I'd be the one tapping because I didn't want him to feel away. So I would.
So you're like kind of projecting
maybe
you
I
felt.
was projecting, but he might not have even felt anything.
Yeah.
So sometimes it is the woman that we might overthink things, and the man just might be like, "No, it's calm. Like I'm all right." So I don't know. I think it just depends on what you're looking for at that time.
Do you think some of that is also, even if it's subconscious, right? You kind of, not you just alone, right? But that type of mindset kind of feeds into the whole, my man should be X, Y, and Z in this relationship.
I think a man always knows his role. Like,
But what if he didn't care? So what if, like you're saying, he's like, I don't mind. You know what I'm saying? No one can make me feel emasculate, but you still feel the way to be like, look, no, my man does so and so. Why is it that if a woman, for example, has a man who's a millionaire, I'll tell everybody in the world, but you're the millionaire and he's the one making 50K, you ain't really always telling people. You know what I'm saying? Why is that double standard there? Esther wants to laugh.
I think every woman wants, I don't know, I think it is a societal, like how we are structured society. What's the word?
Societal structure.
Okay.
Societal.
Is Jackie back again?
Yeah, Jackie's back.
Oh,
Sorry,
is she?
Jackie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Morning, babes.
I've got a few minutes. Hi, I want to give Gina and Esther a scenario. If you had a guy, there's two guys, one earns
ideas this morning.
200K.
Wait. Sorry.
So one earns 200K.
Listening.
How do you know I can't hear?
Oh, sorry, one.
Hold on one sec, Jackie.
You're wearing the headphones.
Hold on one sec.
I can hear you.
Grab a headphone, please.
So one earns two. Am I good to talk?
One sec.
Sorry. I've got it on, sir.
The rebel.
That's what I've been told.
Right. Yeah, Jackie, go on.
Sorry, bro.
One earns 200K. You're on, say, 150. Hello?
Yeah, you can go.
Put the volume down, please.
Okay, so one earns 200K. Guy number one earns 200K, but it's crap with money. So he's not good at investments. Today is Bitcoin, then the stock drops, and tomorrow is this, and that happens. But then the second guy earns, say for example, you're on 100K, he's on 60K. He can comfortably live his own life and also accommodate for your expenses as well. But he also is very good at investments. So he earns significantly less than you, but can invest much better. But the one who earns significantly more than you doesn't invest well. So he makes money, but blows it just as quickly as he makes it. Which one would you prefer? And why does the first one not change the dynamics of the relationship?
I don't
Why
like
is it only money that changes the dynamic of the relationship? Shouldn't it be the fact that you also blow money, so you're not good with money, so therefore it should change the dynamic?
I'm going for the second one because I'm not good at investments. So
someone's got to do it.
So if you're going for the second one, that means you wouldn't mind dating someone that earns less than you. So you would have to date them before you find out that actually, before you see after, you have to go beyond what he makes to actually see his character and how he actually invests and provides.
Yeah.
So therefore, money shouldn't be a factor because the dynamics that you're saying you prefer is you're a wasteful person. You make it, but you blow it. You make it, but you blow it. Whereas the other one's going to actually help you build.
Yeah.
But he earns less than you. He might always earn less than you, but he invests very well.
To be fair, in the example Iman gave, he didn't present us with. You didn't ask who would go for. Do you know what I mean? You just presented a scenario.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. I would always go for a guy who is responsible and smart with money, in scenario. But I think in that we're talking about just what typically comes with, or what can come with earning different and like ego and all that kind of stuff. If the second guy who is good with money, and good investments and all that kind of stuff doesn't have an issue with the fact that I earn more than him and whatever, then that's fine. If he has an issue with the fact that I earn more than him and whatever, I'm going for a third option. Stay single. I haven't got time for that. Do you get what I mean? So I feel like it's just that. Like I will always go with someone who's smart with money, because the first guy, yes, you earn more than me, but you might be broke tomorrow because you just always making poor decisions.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's really what it is. But I think we can't deny that money. Like I can't remember. I don't know if this is still the case, but with divorce, a lot of them happen because of money, of like finances. Do you get what I mean? So we can't deny how huge a role it plays in it. And when we see even people who are, I guess, celebrities or whatever, and they talk about the fact their wife was doing better than them, whatever, it makes a lot of men feel away because of how men have been socialized, because of how they've been raised in terms of you should be the breadwinner, you're the provider and whatever. So that can't be missed. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I think also it's the women as well that make them feel a certain way. So I had, I know an old family member that she was earning money, but I thought it was the man that was earning money because of the way she covered the home. So she would big up the husband as he was a lawyer, she was a tradeswoman, but they were filthy rich, and I always assumed it was his wealth that made them filthy rich, not realizing it was her. But it's the way she treated him, didn't emasculate him, still kept him as the head of the household, irrespective of how he earned the money and also who earned more money. So I think also it's women that equally emasculate or be like, well, you can only get one meat today because you didn't provide.
That's wild. That is hilarious.
You didn't bring the money in, so the shaki is not there for you. So I think women also do the same with making a man's ego feel deflated. Hence why he can then go and marry someone else that's earned significantly less than him, because she then idolizes him. So sometimes women, I think power corrupts everyone, regardless of man or woman.
Yeah.
And I don't think women analyze as much as when I make a lot, sometimes I act a certain way. Sometimes I can say, yeah, I can buy the whole table. Meanwhile, sometimes you don't have to do that, and that make the man feel like, yeah, you couldn't buy 3 bottles, I can only buy 1.
Yeah. I think it goes
I've got a meeting
yeah.
now. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks
Hannah.
for calling.
Yeah, I honestly think it goes both ways, because some men have weird complexes, and I'm not even rich yet, and they be acting damn fool, and I'm like, well, wait till I got the money. But yeah, I think it goes both ways, man. It's just humans being humans, but it's important conversations to be had.
Do you think you can lead without bringing in money?
I can do what?
Can you lead? Can a man be the head of the house and lead?
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, let's explore. Who wants to go first?
I just don't think you can, because
Right, tell me
we need
why.
money to
Is
run
it-
the household.
Yeah, but if you're the one
lead.
making the money.
So you could be making the money.
Sorry, so I thought you meant the man. Sorry,
Yeah.
ask me a
So
question.
can he lead without making, like, if you're the one making all the money,
Yeah.
can your husband still lead?
As in, he's the sole leader.
Hold on a second.
I'm just clarifying the question.
Yes.
No.
Okay. Why is that?
Okay.
I don't believe that. I feel like part of leading is provision. And
Okay.
if you're not, and provision mainly falls on finances. And if you're not bringing that, I don't see how you can be the leader, the captain of the ship, when you don't know how to drive.
I think
Well,
that's
shit.
one
What do you do to a
aspect,
ship?
though.
Drive a ship? Yeah, you drive a ship.
That's just like, if we're talking about traditional roles, are you not a wife because you haven't learned how to cook? Like, I think that's just one aspect of being a leader. It's not necessarily,
The aspect.
yeah. And as I said, like, I always say it's a mentality thing. Like, if you're the type of person, regardless of what my husband earns, he's the head and of the house, and I give him that respect as the head of the house.
Yeah, but he's not earning some. He's earning nothing, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. Okay, let's just say he was a minimum wage guy.
No, that's fine. I've said that. I'm fine with that. As long as like our lifestyle makes sense and you don't have a complex because I earn more and you make me feel away because of that, I'm fine with that. But if you're earning nothing and not because you're doing childcare or anything, you're just earning, like, if you're
Because there are men that are house. What do you call it?
That's what I said.
House
You're
men.
not doing
What do you-
that.
Oh, so he's just not doing anything.
Is that what you're
That's
asking me?
a bit
No,
extreme.
Because if he's got other roles, then that's different.
He's not a bum. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh.
he's still doing, maybe he's cooking, maybe whatever.
Yeah, he's
but
doing
money
all the
wise,
house
he's not,
duties.
He's
Yeah,
not
so
bringing
if,
the
for
money.
example, this is why again I talk about partnership and unions and whatever.
Yeah.
If it's a thing where I'm the career one, and he's the one taking care of the kids and run the house, yes, he can be a leader. I thought you meant he was bringing, like, he's just here.
Just
What
with
are
his
you
feet
leading?
up on the.
Yes, I'm saying that he's
no,
not.
not a
I'm
bum,
like,
no,
well,
no,
he's not
no,
leading
no,
anything.
no, no
But yeah,
way.
if it was a thing where he's a house husband and stuff, yes, he can absolutely lead.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, maybe last question there. If for example you're dating this guy, and he's like, look, he's hearing all your dreams and aspirations. He's seen you on the show. You think, yo, like, you're amazing. This, that, and that. He's hearing you talk as well, and you ask him about his aspirations. He's like, you know what, I just believe in family. I want to support my wife, my children, but I believe it's best to do it at home. So I want to be the best house husband I can be. I'm gonna stay in the house. I've already taken chef lessons. I can cook amazingly. This, that, and the third. Is that someone you can consider?
Yeah.
I'm not just putting it on you, by the way. Like everybody.
I can,
No.
because you're,
What, a
you're
house
putting your weight in
husband?
other ways.
Yeah.
I ain't got to cook, clean, nothing. my manicure stay fresh for longer. And I like working and stuff like that anyway.
Okay.
So if there's other areas in the house that you can, like, when I give birth to this child, as soon as I'm healed, I'm back in the office and you can watch the baby and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, you're still going to do your year of
No, sorry,
maternity.
that's
You have to
not- that's
breastfeed and
not
all
for
that
me.
stuff. But he will then.
I pump.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Why is this?
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
It just don't sit
I'm
right.
not-
It don't sound right.
It
It
don't.
don't sit right.
It's not. I'm not gonna lie, and maybe patriarchy. No, I just. It's no. It's no. No.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think no. As I said, it's not necessarily about what you earn. To me, it's a mentality thing. You can be on 25k and I'm on 70, but in your mind, you're striving to be the provider.
Yeah.
That's like, I can't. To me, it's just it's the mentality that's more important than what's actually happening and what's going on at that moment.
Does it matter? God, this is not anyone's situation, but does it matter if he continually strive until pension age?
No, like I have to see improvement. Like
There's improvements,
if after 4 years or 3 years or 2 years, there's no, I'll be like, okay, Paul, like, babe, we need to revise this strategy and see where we're lacking, see where we can improve. Like, there has to be some kind of improvement. And
So in some ways, you won't marry him yet. You'd kind of
no, I'd marry him
okay.
if I'm if I'm earning enough money to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Already.
Yep.
And he said, do you know what, babe, like, obviously I'm not earning this, but this is what I'm trying to do. Because sometimes the plan, it's not going to
it's just not
take,
clicked yet.
it's not going to take 3 years. Sometimes it's like, he's like, babe, I'm onto something. And it makes sense to me. Then I'll be like, okay, I believe in it. Let's give it a try. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Because in my mind, it's basically what a housewife will be doing, but he's a house husband. And I always talk about how being a housewife is a job. Do you know what I mean? It's not recognized as a job, but it is a job. So if I'm earning and he's running the house and doing everything that needs to do for this household to be up in the way it needs to be, I rate that.
Regardless of what that role is, as long as you're just doing.
Like, he's doing what I would be doing if I was a housewife.
Okay.
That's what you mean, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And men, don't feel away if your wife inspires you. Like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
Like, no, some men feel like if your wife is making more and she's like saying, okay, babe, you know what, you can improve her. They feel like, as someone said in there, oh, I'm marrying a coach. Like, why do you feel like that? Why do you feel like that? Not that that's what it is. Why do you feel like that?
And shouldn't you even want your partner to inspire you? I think it goes both ways. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be with someone who doesn't inspire me, as a woman. Do you get what I mean? And maybe that's partly why that situation don't work for me, and that's because
I pull my inspiration from myself. That's why.
yeah, because I hear it, but for me, it's like that's not. Yeah, get somebody else to do it.
Get somebody else to do it.
But the last question, yeah, Gina, that whole thing about, for example, the man being the house husband, yeah. Let's just say he supported you like no man you've ever met before, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Is that still a thing where it's like, nah, I still require you financially to do something?
I don't know. You know
Is
what?
it a shame thing as well?
I think partly so, but I think obviously I'm not in that situation, innit? So I can't talk now.
Yeah.
But without emotions and stuff being involved, I can say for me now it's a no. Do you know what I mean? But being in that situation with emotions, all that stuff, it could be different. But yeah, I think I would require. I definitely would require more.
More financially, not more in other areas.
Yeah, and I think, do you know what I think it is as well? I think it's just because of how I am and how I want someone to match my energy, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I'm not a stay-at-home kind of, do you know what I mean? So I would want my partner to kind of like complement that or like match my energy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I would require. So that's what I require, if that makes sense. Someone who's like as just as driven, ambitious. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me personally.
Is that I know you're not saying this, but like, is that a lack of ambition though, and lack of drive to want to be a house husband though?
Do you know how hard it is to be a house anything?
This is what I'm asking.
I don't know, man.
Because not everyone is ambitious, and some people, you might meet somebody who is like a chef at a restaurant. not everybody has the mindset of I want to have my own restaurant.
No, of
not
course.
just one
That's
restaurant. But I want to have restaurants all over the world.
That's
Not
true.
everyone is wired that way.
That's
So
true.
I don't want a lazy person. Anyone who's trying to be a housewife is not a lazy man. And for me, I don't like laziness. So for me, that man hasn't got a lazy mentality. So it doesn't I don't see that as a lack of ambition. It's just this is what he's doing. I don't think that I just don't see it as that.
Can I throw this in there quickly?
Do you know what I was gonna say
No,
though?
come to me.
Yeah, it could. The thing is, this is why I'm saying I'm saying this now, but it could be different because you can meet someone, who your career is thriving, right? And it could be a case of they want to take a break. They don't know where they're going in their career. They've got enough money to kind of cover them or whatever. But it's like, do you know what? I want to take a break. And in me taking a break, I'm going to stay at home and support the family and whatever and allow you to further on your career because right now you're on fire. I wouldn't have an issue with that. Do you understand what I mean? Because I'm seeing it as one, you're taking a sacrifice for the family, and two, you're still supporting me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why it's hard for me to really say. I feel like I have to be in that scenario.
But then when you start having kids now, you got 3-4 kids now. When does he get back to work? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it could be 10 years in the house.
I think that's why what you've just said is why I was comfortable with it. Because for me, him being a house husband, him worrying about the household and all that kind of stuff just means that I can be greater at whatever it is that I'm doing. That's a supportive man to me.
Yeah. Facts.
Two questions. Yeah, hopefully I don't forget these. Yeah, I'll send them at the same time. Marks and Brent. Yeah, if you guys met a woman, same type of scenario, amazing, beautiful, everything. Yeah, and she's like, you know what? I don't like saying this all the time, but I might as well just tell you my wage now, innit? I earn £1 million a year. And she's like, look, I feel as though I'm able to do this because I'm kind of, not by myself, but no one's really tampering with my, you know what I'm saying, my setup. For us to go further, I kind of would like if you would consider being a house husband. Yeah? But she's making £1 million every year. Is that something that you consider? That's the first question. Second question is, if that man is a house husband, you have to are you factoring in the fact that any way you kind of go in life in terms of your wage and your income will be down to you alone?
Of course it is, because he's at home. He's not working.
That's what I'm saying. Is that? I'm not saying that you're not thinking about it, but is that?
I have to.
that
Because I said about furthering my career. So definitely.
Okay, cool.
But I'm not gonna be like this is my money, I'm lording over, because I'm
of
very
course not.
aware of the fact that you're doing what you're doing is why I'm able to reach certain heights with my career.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm aware that everything to do with this household is this. So I can't, while you're doing what you're doing to help me move further, I can't drop the ball on my end because it's all good. It falls on me.
That's partly what I'm speaking to. The pressure there to be like, wherever we go in life, right?
It's on me.
It's on me.
Yeah, but I wake up with pressure every day.
Yeah, but yes, but you're exceptional. But
Yeah.
are other women out there, are they considering this?
Yeah, but if
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel like there is that. But when I say about I wouldn't mind that kind of setup, I already know that. I'm already aware of that. Because I feel like even with him as well, there will be some kind of pressure of I've got to keep this going, because if I fall short in maintaining the household, that means she's going to have to take a step back from her career to come in the house. That means I've dropped the ball. So I feel like we're both going to feel pressure, different kind of pressure, but we're both going to feel pressure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Marks and Brent, last question of the day.
Or what if I could be a house husband?
Yeah.
Kept man.
Kept man, yeah, with no use though.
So what are you at home doing?
No, you need to.
Leave, man. Man's at home doing live streaming, no behaviour. Let me see.
I'll take care of the yard and thing, innit? Like I'll pattern up the house.
We have to add in the kids. We have to add in the kids. 4 kids.
So I'm never gonna be able to benefit from all this money. When am I gonna get a chance to use the money and thing?
No, but you benefit. She'll take you lot out, innit?
Go on nice holidays. You know you love a holiday. So it can be summer for you all year round.
No, there's no kids for the first 3 years, and then we'll build up the use.
When we're talking about house husband, is it you're strictly at home, no side hustle, no?
I mean, if you have some time, you may do like a outside hustle.
No, you
or
have a
something.
side
No,
hustle.
you will have
Yeah,
you
got
will have
side.
time, so
Bakery-ting,
you can have
cupcakes
your
and
own
thing.
little business.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Cupcakes, innit?
Okay, you try to do your.
Oh, that's
What
that's
if your husband?
different.
If your husband's baking
Let me see.
cakes,
That's different.
what you wouldn't like your husband to be your house husband baking cupcakes and shotting them on the side? To
I
earn
would
a
love
extra
that.
fee?
Come into fresh cookies and that. That's
That's what I'm
lovely.
saying.
Okay.
But no,
Well, you're gonna
yeah, I
be.
would want
Would
to
you
have
be?
something
Would you be a house
on the
husband,
Yeah,
Brett?
but
All right. So the scenario was she's making $1 million a year,
Yes.
and I need to stop working in order for me to be a house husband, right?
Yes.
So I need to look after the kids, look after the house, right?
Yes.
All right. So currently, the scenarios are that women are housewives and still working, right?
Yes.
And I can't do this.
No, because remember, a lot of the time that's not the case where the man is making $1 million. When the guy is making $1 million, a lot of the time the women are not really working. If they're working, they're just working because they want something to do. No disrespect. But you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's not needed. You know what I'm saying? If we're both earning 50K, 100K, then we can both go
Yeah,
to
but
work.
I didn't join a relationship to basically please the wife. I
I know.
joined because I wanted to spend time with the wife, right? I wanted to have experiences with the wife.
Yeah,
my
she's
ambition,
she's not sleeping at the job. She's going to come home.
my ambition was present before she joined this union, right?
Yes.
So you're telling me I should kill my ambition in order to basically?
I'm not telling you. She's asking. She's saying to you, Brett.
I don't
look.
think this is the wife for me then.
Okay.
My
Cool.
ambition, it's my ambition, and you know how I feel about children. You can't.
Wow. You can't bring that into the equation.
He basically said, "Fuck them kids."
And in my head,
time.
I'm already a house guy. Do you understand? I'll be cooking, I'll be cleaning. I don't like mess like that. Do you understand?
Yeah,
So I'll be doing everything that the traditional woman will be doing.
Anyway.
But I have to have my ambition. Do you understand? Yeah, that's just me, man.
All right, beautiful. I think we can wrap up there.
Thank you, Brett. This was a good topic of the day. Let's get into our
Jackie.
next headlines. Thanks, you.
Jackie.
Oh, yes, big up Jackie.
Pick up
for
Jackie,
calling.
of course.
Let's get into our next headlines.
All right, so next headline. Apparently, China and the West had to step in to kind of ease Africa's debt crisis. And Ghana made history when it led the wave of sub-Saharan African countries that won independence more than 6 decades ago. We know this, right? But it may now be making history again as the first test case for a new approach to debt relief. China and Western governments may have overcome one barrier to reconstructing the billions of dollars owed by countries with unsustainable debts. On May the 17th, 2 days ago, the IMF's board signed off a $3 billion bailout for Ghana and immediately released an urgently needed first amount of $600 million, right? This was made possible only by assurances from Ghana's bilateral creditors, in particular China, but also the Paris Club, which is an informal group of mainly rich Western countries, that they will take losses on their loans to Ghana, right? So this is the first step. I may go into this a bit more in the People's Journey. That's the first headline. Second headline, the head of South Africa's broken Eskom electricity monopoly has warned that the rolling blackouts plaguing the country could hit record levels in the coming cold months unless the utility can prevent its decrepit fleet of power plants from being overwhelmed by breakdowns. South Africans who are already enduring power cuts lasting up to 12 to every 32 hours were told by Eskom's acting chief executive that it was going to be a difficult winter where the outages could stretch up to 16 hours. What's the longest stretch of no electricity that you can remember in Nigeria and in Ghana?
In Nigeria?
that I've experienced.
Yeah.
I think 11 hours.
Okay.
Oh, wow. So I'm not going to take into the fact that obviously the generator was generating,
Okay.
but weeks. There's times where like my area did not have electricity.
Non-stop. You know, sometimes they put on like a little half an hour and then...
But that's the thing though, they do it for like weeks, yeah? Because it's always funny because when you go home, they'll be like, we haven't had lights for 2 weeks. And
Yeah,
then when you come,
exactly.
then the light comes back on for like an hour, then it's off. And then they're like, we don't know it's going to come back. That's bad, you know? But no, I've heard weeks.
All right. Well, South Africa's current load shedding is classed as stage 6 on a scale that uses the number of gigawatts of demand that are subject to rolling cuts, while stage 8 is the maximum level of outage for which Eskom braced South Africans, right? So they're basically saying that it's going to get worse. Although Kazim, which is the Eskom's acting chief executive, stressed that this was the worst case scenario, households and businesses have learned not to get their hopes up as the year-long crisis at Eskom has intensified, which has throttled growth and threatened inflation as companies fall back on expensive diesel generators.
They get notifications though.
Do
Because when I
they?
was there, we was at our friend's house, and she was like, they call it load shedding, innit? So she was like, oh, load shedding's gonna happen in like an hour. So charge your phones and stuff. And I was like, that's so sick that you guys actually get told that it's about to happen.
That's
When we
so
were
lit.
sitting there, everyone was charging their phone, whatever, and then it happened, and we was just sitting in the dark. But it's like we knew it was coming, and I was like,
that's so
we
good.
don't get notifications, bro.
Does it tell you like when it's gonna go off as well?
I'm not sure like when it's gonna come back.
No, so they get notification when it's gonna come on. or
No,
when it's
they
gonna
get
go off.
notifications when it's gonna go off.
NEPA could never.
So what I'm saying is they'll get told, okay, within the next hour or at whatever time, this is when it's
That's
gonna
so
happen.
lit. Do you know what's funny
Whereas
though?
we literally would just get,
I remember moments here where basically NEPA will put the light on, yeah, but it's like they've done the wrong area. So we'll come up and everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're good, and then like 2 minutes later it goes off, and then you see another area might have it.
I saw a tweet and
So
it was
dumb.
like, when it starts raining, everyone in Ghana starts charging their phones. And I was like, yeah, because after it rains,
No, that's it.
you know if it's a power cut. After it rains, like,
Wow.
there's always, your electricity is going, basically. So when you see it rain, you better get your plugs and make sure you're sorted.
I was listening to something and they were saying how like some people take all their devices to their work. Obviously, your work, they take it to the office. So they charge their phones, their little portable chargers, because obviously when they go back home, there's no electricity at home. So they do all of it on the employer's dime.
I mean, it makes sense.
It makes sense. I would do it.
Yeah.
I would do it. That's jokes, man.
Last headline, a joke by a Chinese stand-up comedian that loosely referenced a slogan used to describe the country's military has cost an entertainment firm more than $2 million after it was slapped with enormous fines by the authorities. The costly punishment underscores the delicate line comedians must tread in China's increasingly restrictive and heavily censored social environment, and the stark consequences for those in the entertainment industry who are deemed to step out of line. This guy, who goes by the stage name of House, his real name is Lee Hayoshi, he caught the attention of authorities this week after using a phrase associated with the PLA, the People's Liberation Army, during his comedy show at the Century Theatre in Beijing over the weekend. As the official backlash grew, Lee cancelled all of his performances, while the entertainment company that represents him had to issue an apology. On Wednesday, the Beijing Municipal Bureau of Culture and Tourism said a subsidiary of the firm will be fined $1.91 million and deprived of $189,000 that he made in illegal gains, which is an apparent reference to his 2 live shows, which he did last weekend. The company was also indefinitely suspended from holding any performances in the capital. Yeah, that's what happens in communism and that, isn't it? But yeah, that's it for the headlines.
Right, let's get into... Oh, okay, let's get into this. What would you do? Yeah, read it.
Yeah, I've got it.
So I just found out, while you load it up. You know Hilda that did the cooking? She could have sat down.
She could have.
Yeah.
Have you seen the guy now? The guy from is it Cameroon?
Movement.
I literally rolled my eyes and I thought, why are we like this? Why can't you allow someone
Just
to
let
have
a woman
their-
enjoy things.
He's literally already. I think he's already done 20 hours. Like he's basically trying to beat her world record. And I thought, what? I don't
No,
get
but
it.
did
Like,
he practice for that? Because she had trial sessions. So what's he going
I
with
don't.
that?
know. I think it's literally off the back of her doing it, and obviously he's seen the clout and he's seen the hype, and he's trying to like take her shine. Like it
That's
annoys
so-
me.
yeah,
because I
that's
thought,
just- yeah.
knock it off.
Is there any terms and conditions that you can't use like energy drinks and pre-workouts and stuff like that? Like,
You must be able to do... Can I do water?
Find
now?
great
asking, is
They must be
there?
able to.
Okay.
Who's that? Oh, they must be able
Someone
to.
on the line.
But to be fair, sister knows she could sit down.
That's
How mad that is.
So she actually could have.
Yeah, she could have sat down because the other lady sat down. But she didn't read the terms and conditions. She didn't read properly. Hate to see it. All right.
All right. Hey, ladies. Good morning. I've been in a relationship with my partner for 5 years. We have a good relationship, but we've been having some problems lately. My partner has been working long hours and we've not been spending as much time together. I'm starting to feel lonely and neglected. I've tried to talk to my partner about this, but they just say that they are busy with work. I'm not sure what to do. Should I try to talk to my partner again, or should I just accept that things are not going to change? P.S. I must admit, I'm spending more and more time entertaining conversations from a couple men on Instagram, one of which I've started speaking to on WhatsApp. I don't talk about anything reckless, but the constant communication with him I find comfort in, and I'm fearful of what the future may bring. Thank you, ladies, for any help you can provide.
You and Ada Tree. You and Ada Tree. You can move.
You are in murky waters, my G. Murky.
Listen, you are not a tree. You can move.
Literally. I think...
I would talk to him again and be like, do you know what? Do you know what? I was in something the other day, and it's like a married couple, and they're married for like 20-something years. And they were talking about like how like communication, you have to be so real with your partner and be like, we're not spending enough time together. I feel neglected, and it's making me want to entertain conversations from other people. Like they were like, that's how real they are. Like if he finds a woman attractive, he's letting his wife know. And he was saying how, funny enough, a lot of things that go unsaid in relationships makes the temptation bigger. But he was like, he's found that if he tells his wife like, I find that woman attractive or whatever, he's like, all of it, because it's out now. Like it's like it's gone. Like he doesn't.
The
do you know what I
thrill
mean?
isn't there.
Yeah, but when you hold it in, it's like
grow.
louder in your head kind of thing. But I would say talk to him and just be like, do you know what? Not that you're pushing him into the arms of other men, but it's making me want to seek. There is this desire for me to seek attention and emotional comfort elsewhere. If he doesn't understand after that one, told you, you're not a tree, you can move.
Yeah.
Because they're not married, are they? They're in a relationship.
No. Maxie,
Let's
with
go.
your wise words.
Let's go, Mrs. Johnson.
Come on.
I don't know. I feel like, one, it depends on how long it's been going. Like, how long has this period gone on for? Because, like, for example, for me, like me and my husband, we got goals we're working towards, and we're quite late on some of them. So, unfortunately, we had to have a conversation, and he's like, babe, I'm going to be on tours. Like, I'm going to be away for a bit. And he knows I don't like long stretches. But depending on what the goal is, because don't look at it like a long-term thing.
Okay,
look at it
It's a
like
sacrifice.
for this period, this is what I have to sacrifice.
Yeah.
And we're both on the same page, and we know why we're doing it. So it depends on, are you just being a bit, I don't want to say selfish at
get
this
you
point, but
But are you not understanding
The
the
goal at
sacrifice
hand,
that is
yeah.
made
what the
for us to
sacrifice
get
is?
where we need to
However,
get
has
to?
he communicated that to you as well? Is it is it a thing where you're both got separate goals and he's doing his thing and he hasn't communicated to you like, babe, this is what I'm trying to do. Unfortunately, just for this period of time, it might be like 4 or 5 months. I'm gonna be working hard.
Do you know what it is? I think the way she wrote, it sounds like he's dismissive of the fact of how she's feeling. Because if she said that, what you've said is perfect in terms of, okay, this is the reality, this is what we're trying to achieve, this is why I'm working this much, blah, blah. It's a conversation. I feel like she will understand that better if that was the case. I still think that in the same, like, obviously if it's a tour, that's different. But if we're in the same house so sleep, like you can carve an hour, 2 hours where you're not with your phone, not worrying about, not replying to emails or whatever, and just give her that time. But the fact that she said she spoke to him and he said,
He's just
I'm
busy
busy.
with work. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
you're busy with work. This is what I'm trying to talk about. So I think
It's a
what you said
yeah.
is good. I think have that conversation about, you know, what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to, what Guinness World Record are you trying to break? Do you know what I mean? Working on this
Did she
stuff.
say that they live together?
Do that?
No.
They don't not live
She
together.
just said that
I don't think-
she didn't. She just said that they've been together. She wasn't clear.
Oh, they've been together 5 years.
Yeah, she just
Because even when you live together, there's sometimes like, my husband's working around the clock and he comes home and he tries and he slept. Like
Yeah.
in 2 minutes, he's
Yeah.
off. So sometimes you just gotta sometimes give a bit of grace, depending on. But he has to communicate with you at the same time.
This is. I feel
That's
like
the thing.
Grace. I feel like women will be more understanding of things if you just let me know.
Yeah,
And I think
100%.
when you don't let me know, then my mind can wander and I can feel all types of way. And I think if you just let her know, and I feel like even with relationships, you have to be intentional about stuff. So
Yeah.
again, we might not be able to go out for dates because of the timings or whatever, but just an hour where we literally have dinner and it's just me and you. There's no phones, no nothing. We get to catch up. I feel like that will give her something than nothing.
Do you know what I like though? I like the fact that she's being honest and saying that because of this, she's entertaining. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I love the accountability, and I think it shows that obviously it's not really what you want to do, and ideally you want to fix whatever it is. So I think communicating, you have to communicate with your partner to let him know and be honest. Like Esther said, you don't have to just let him know that because of this lack, it's causing you to kind of like
Yeah.
seek it elsewhere,
Yeah.
and that's obviously not what you want. So you guys have to come to some kind of compromise to make it work. But again, as Maxie said, I agree with Maxie as well in a sense where, is this a short-term goal
Yes.
for
Is it
something
yeah.
long-term? Is it a case of he's working towards a promotion or whatever that's going to benefit both of you in the long run? If it is,
Yeah.
you kind of have to ride it out.
Yeah.
And I think ask him as well.
be supportive,
Yeah.
and just see it as a temporary moment as opposed to like this is what your relationship's going to be like
This is
moving
it.
forward.
Yeah.
Because hindsight's a thing.
I think communicate about all of that. I think ask him as well, but
100%.
maybe he doesn't want to share what he's dealing with, like in terms of like trying to achieve this goal or whatever. But I would say ask him as well and be like, what is it you're working towards? Just so I can be more understanding, I can give you more grace, and I have comfort in knowing that, okay, yeah, he really is working, and if he could do differently, he would be.
And
But again, this is a
also,
period of time.
I'd say stop talking to the people that you're talking
Yeah,
to.
stop that.
Because all that's going to happen is it's going to get worse.
It's gonna
and
get
you're going to
worse.
find yourself in a really bad situation.
Yeah.
And if you speak to your partner and nothing changes, then leave, because otherwise you're going to end
You're
up
gonna doing.
you're going to end up doing something that you're going to regret.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, I can see it happening from here. So
Yeah.
it means you can see it happening.
Yeah,
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's really good.
talk,
I think- I think-
cut off the people that you're entertaining.
Yeah.
If your partner doesn't change, leave the situation and then do what you want to do, because otherwise you're going to be the bad person
Yeah.
at the end of this, and
Yeah.
it can easily be avoided, in my opinion.
I agree with that. I think as someone who does want to be with a partner and wants to talk to them and wants to understand this whole situation, you really have to cut off all the distractions so you can put 100% into that relationship. And if you're able to move forward with it, then move forward with it. But you definitely have to cut off distractions. I think worth it.
Yeah.
I felt too. Oh.
No, I was just going to say, like, in agreement with Gina and Esther, that it's good she's identified that, okay, this is now what's creeping in. But at the same time that you've identified it, you have to put
You have to
boundaries
curb
in
it, man.
place for
Right.
yourself. Like, yeah, you're going to talk to him and whatever, but let's just say this happens again. Like, you can't keep going back there just because that's happening.
Yeah, no.
Like,
It's
what?
not going to excuse your behaviour.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't excuse your behaviour. So, yeah.
And
yeah.
sorry, I'm so sorry. Don't tell the men that you're cutting them off because of your marital problems. Because that's when men love to do wait, so you can't have
They
friends
don't.
now.
Hold on.
No,
you don't
just
owe
block
them an
them. You don't owe
explanation.
them
They care about boundaries.
You don't
Block
even
them.
owe them an explanation. Just cut it
them.
off. Like,
Don't do speech. Block. The person you need to be communicating with is your husband or your partner, not these other
Yeah.
chewing gum boys. Cut them off.
Do you feel like it's a sign that she's already broken up with him?
No.
In her mind?
Do you
think
know
she's
why I
already
don't
out the
think
door?
so? Because if that's the case, she wouldn't have.
She wouldn't written us
She
to
wouldn't
us.
be writing to us to ask for advice. I think she doesn't want it to get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah. And I think the fact that she even said like I'm not doing anything inappropriate is just I'm enjoying the company of like someone just giving me attention.
but
yeah, I don't
she is-
think
she
she
is
has.
doing something inappropriate.
Yeah, because my man couldn't, boy. But yeah,
That just entertaining the conversation alone. If you're having a conversation with somebody
Actually,
consistently that you can't tell your husband about, or you're doing something inappropriate.
okay, yeah,
For whatever
facts,
reason,
facts.
whatever the reason might be,
Because you know why you're not
you
telling
know
him right.
why he's not telling your husband that you're talking
That
to
is true.
So
That is true.
no, yeah,
That is true, yeah. But I don't think she's checked out the relationship at all.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think she would have gone.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Good luck, sis. Let us know how it works out.
yeah.
All right, let's get back into our headlines.
Margaret is leading currently.
You what, sorry?
So you're leading currently. The less you speak, the more it. Quite exactly.
Oh, you noticed me.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Ridiculous.
I'm not engaging anymore. Time is running out.
Listen to the queens.
There you go. Yeah, listen. You gotta let black women have their time to talk and
I
not get
love that.
involved. You gotta know
That's
your-
a king, man.
you gotta know your place.
Love that.
Tell me what you guys think of this. Yeah. So basically, an IT. All right, trigger warning here. Potential sexual harassment, right? So an IT worker sued her boss for sexual harassment after believing his XX, right, at the end of certain sentences, and YY, yeah. What's YY mean?
What's why?
I don't know.
His what?
So it's
Yum,
like
yum.
Oh, yum yum.
Ignore him.
No,
His XX.
X, you know,
You know
like
when you
after
sign
certain-
off?
Yeah.
Like X and O, X,
Kisses,
kisses
yeah.
and
Okay,
hugs.
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So basically, she's suing him for sexual harassment there after believing that his XX, his YYs, and like 4 question marks, right, in an email asking for more information was a coded way of asking for sexual relations.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't understand. Is it typed
Hey,
out?
I'm trying to find what
Yeah,
YY means. Okay,
I
in
don't
text
understand.
message,
I
it
don't
means yes, yes.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Yes, what was the question?
Well, yeah. So anyway, so her name is Karina Gasparova, and she also claimed that when Alexander Gulandris renamed a work file with his initials AJG, it was actually an abbreviation for a jumbo genital.
How did we get here?
Whoa. Do you think mental health, innit? You know what, let me read more of it. Before I jump to
Thanks.
So the Employment Tribunal at London's, this is happening in London, you know. London Central Court said that Miss Gasparova's perception of events was skewed. and her claims were rejected. The tribunal heard that she believed her superior, Mr. Gurangelis, was trying to chat her up when discussing business on work calls and claimed he would just be staring at her, right? It was also claimed that email correspondence from him insinuated a desire to engage in sexual acts. Presented as evidence, the email from Mr. Gurangelis read, "Can you please complete the following? The solution is currently used by XX Agris companies and YY barge lines in corn cargoes in North London, flows in the 4 question marks waterways." It's hard to kind of thingy. I'm not sure if Brent, you can put it on the screen, yeah. But I'll read it again. So basically, this is what he said. The solution is currently used by XX Agris companies and YY barge lines in corn cargoes in North flows in the 4 question marks waterways. Also, can you remind me of what the balance of the rollout would be and the approximate timing? So she's basically saying all of this stuff means he's sending innuendos. Miss Gasparova, who represented herself, argued that the XX referred to kisses, YY to sexual contact, and the 4 question marks as a coded way of asking when she would be ready to engage in sexual acts.
Okay.
How
did she decipher the code?
That's because you know.
Like, what made you go with that?
Let me be objective, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought because obviously she said on the phone when they have phone calls, he tells her that he stares at her and or making whatever. I think some things are a bit tricky to prove, and I do believe that there has been some kind of inappropriate exchanges. Well, it's not an exchange if it's not 2 ways, is it? Yeah, towards her by him. The XXYY. I don't know, because I thought it was a typo, but then he also says, "Can you please remind me?" So he can spell. But I do think there has been some kind of inappropriateness. I don't know if this is how she would have stuck the point with the employers. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But I wouldn't dismiss it as there has been no inappropriateness. Because also as well, I thought the XX was like, thanks, XX.
Yeah,
no,
the end, didn't it?
whatever his name is, XX.
Yeah.
But maybe, I don't know, because again, who knows what he's been sending on phone calls?
It's true.
It could be coded. And she's the only one who gets it, but because he's made reference to it.
And do you feel like it's strategic where he's placed it? So the XX...
Yeah, because it makes no sense.
Is the kisses, the YY barge lines.
You need help.
What does YY mean though?
Yes.
And the other one, waterways.
Waterways, what? Yeah, because because you know what I mean? It looks like he's tried to send emojis and his upgrade wasn't.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
The ones where
like,
you ain't updated your phone.
You ain't updated.
You ain't got the software.
Because it's weird. Because it's weird.
Well, her claims of sexual harassment, discrimination, and unfair dismissal were rejected, and she was ordered to pay £5,000.
I hope she didn't get fired.
Yeah, no, she's gone, man. Yeah.
Was that the guy? He's like a YY kind of guy.
Next headline, a trigger warning here in murder. 2 teenage cousins have been jailed for life for the murder of 15-year-old Kayrie McLean. Giovanni Harriet, who's 17, will serve a minimum of 18 years, while 15-year-old Jacqueline Pussy will serve a minimum of 16 years. The pair can now be named after their anonymity order was lifted following their sentencing. Kayrie was stabbed while making his way home from North Huddersfield Trust School in a West Yorkshire town on the 21st of September of last year. Harriet, who was 16 at the time, was accused of being one of the 2 teenagers who attacked Kayrie after lying in wait for him, wearing balaclavas and carrying knives. He was found guilty of the murder in March. The court heard how Kayrie left the school on Woodhouse Hall Road with his friends. He was met by Harriet and Pussy, who charged towards him aggressively. Pussy, who had already pleaded guilty to murder, stabbed Kayrie in the chest with a 30-centimetre blade. It proved to be a fatal blow as it went through Kayrie's ribs and penetrated one of his lungs and his heart. Kayrie fell to the floor and was defenseless on his back. Yeah, man. And then the other guy, basically, who denied murder, stabbed him in his lower leg. Sad news. And the last headline's a bit of good news. And 4 indigenous children in Colombia have been found alive more than 2 weeks after their plane that they were traveling in crashed in a thick jungle. Amongst those 4 kids was an 11-month baby. Yeah. So the other children, 4 years old, 9 years old, and 13. Crazy. Wow. Yeah, man. The plane, which is a Cessna 206, was carrying 7 people when it issued a Mayday alert due to engine failure in the early hours of the 1st of May. The president, Gustavo Petro, said that the discovery followed arduous searching by the military, and he described the news as a joy for the country. 3 adults, including the pilot, died as a result of the impact,
So
and their
all
bodies,
the adults died and the children.
Yeah.
And
And their bodies, and their bodies were found inside the plane. Preliminary information from the Colombian Civil Aviation Authority, which coordinated the rescue efforts, suggests that the children escaped the plane and set off into the rainforest to find help. Rescuers, supported by sniffer dogs, had previously found discarded fruit that the children ate to survive, as well as improvised shelters made with jungle vegetation. Airplanes and helicopters from both Colombia's Army and Air Force participated in the rescue operations. Thank God for that, man.
Thank God for that.
And that's it for the headlines.
Thank you. Let's get into the reaction.
Welcome to SS's favourite part of the show.
I love it.
The reaction. There's not much to react about today.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, but it'd be cool. No, there's a few headlines. I'll just read them out because we could just get through them quickly. It's be all right. I'm not reading this one. I don't need to read this one. Newcastle beat Brighton 4-1. That's how you do it, Arsenal.
Wow.
Say the
He
horns,
pressed down the
bomb.
dress.
So yeah, they battered them. Never saw it, but that was another massive, massive, massive step into that top 4 place, man. I think they just need 3 more points, and they should be. Yeah, they should be done. It's a lot of pressure, man, especially with my boys playing like absolute wallies at the minute. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, I don't know whether that Liverpool pressure is going to get to them. Newcastle clearly ain't feeling it. You get me? But we need to win our next game. Is that at home to Chelsea?
Bournemouth, no?
It's away to Bournemouth next one, yeah? All right, cool. Yeah, but we need, again, if we slip up against Bournemouth, they don't deserve nothing, man. Idiots. But yeah, they done that. And then in other news, congratulations to West Ham. They made the final of the Europa Conference League last night. They beat AZ Alkmaar 1-0. It was 3-1 on aggregate. But there was an unrest and thing in the crowd. Did you see?
I didn't see it, though.
Yeah, so the ultras, after their team lost, they wanted to attack. So it's saying here the AZ supporters broke through a fence and attacked the West Ham contingent seated in the reserve section at the AZ stadium. A brawl ensued in which West Ham players attempted to intervene. Police and stewards then arrived on the scene to prevent further confrontation, and calm was restored 10 minutes later. Speaking to BT Sport after the game, the manager David Moyes said, "We'll need to wait for the dust to settle and see what it is. But the biggest problem is that is the area where the players have all their families and friends in." So yeah, it was crazy. I think I see Manu running over to the pitch because he's saying, "Boy, my family and friends over there and all that." These men are, the men are sick over there. So I don't know how that I don't know how that's all going to play out. Whether AZ are going to get in trouble or get a ban, or I don't know. But you can't just be doing that to people. So yeah, that was crazy. And then in the last bit of football news, yesterday, I think this is the biggest playoff comeback in playoff history. Yeah. Actually, yeah. So firstly, I want to say big up Darren Moore, yeah. Big up Darren Moore for doing this thing, yeah. He is the only black managers in the pro. Well, one of the only black managers in the pro. I think he's the only black manager in League One, don't it?
Probably.
I'll
double check.
We can double check. I think he's the only black manager in League One anyway. He's got Sheffield Wednesday to the League One playoffs, to the finals for them to get back in the championships. But for you who don't know, yeah, they lost the first leg 4-0. Like, they were down and out, finished. They was 4-0 down. They came back, they made it 4-4. Went to extra time, went to penalties, and then I believe they won 5-3 on penalties, maybe? I think it was 5-3 on penalties. I believe they scored all their penalties, and the other team missed 2. So that was sensational. You get me? That was absolutely sensational. There's a video going around of him giving an impassionate speech. I haven't seen it yet, though. I want to watch it. Have you ever seen it?
I haven't seen it,
I wish I could have found it. I should have sent it to you so you can play it, give us some inspiration. You get me?
Is this after the win, or just like during the game?
It looks like it's after the game in the dressing room.
Okay.
So I want to watch it. It's supposed to be good. Hopefully you don't do that big speech and they go and lose the final. But, you know, here's hoping. Congratulations. And that will be it for our football news, man. Big up Mourinho. Roma. Roma's got through to the finals of the Europa League. Who have they got? Seville. Seville done it again. Seville are sick. Seville beat Juventus and Seville done it again. Jose, this is going to be his 6th final. I think he's had... Shit. It's gone from me. It's 2 Europas, 2 Champions Leagues, and... my numbers are gone for me, yeah? But, yeah, he's won all of them. You get me? I think he's only lost like 3 Super Cup finals. Them big finals that he's been in, he's won them. You get me? So chances are he's good money for it again. You get me? Like, yeah, Roma could do it again. So let's big up Mourinho for getting into a final. Even though Seville are Europa League specialists. You get me? Like specialists, and they're a good team. So I don't know who my money would be on there.
27 trophies, 2 Champions Leagues, 2 Europa Leagues, 2 UEFA Super Cups, 3 Premier Leagues. 2
There it
La
is.
Liga.
It's 2 Europa Leagues, 2 Champions League, 2 Europa Super Cups, then or whatever it may be. Yeah, the final. He's never lost. That's the only ones. No, I don't know anyway. But that's all that shit. You get me? When he's in the finals, he does his thing, and he's in another one. So yeah, big up him. And I think that's the end of our sports news, man. Let's get into Out Ere. Short, really sweet, because our friends in Just Stop are back at it again. I've been seeing this for a week and I haven't looked at it. So I pressed it, and then now I saw that there's a video. So then now for me to decide what I want to do. Brent, can you just play this video? Because I want to see how this woman acts. She's upset at the Just Stop black woman mother. She's furious about them blocking the road because her kids got to go to school or something like that. But yeah, it's accompanied with a video and I haven't seen it. So I want to watch it just to see.
In real time,
just to see what she done and whether she was angry enough for me or not. Now, then I can decide who's done it.
enough.
Yeah, no, because these people get away with murder, man. I want to see that. Did she bad them up? Did she spit on anyone? She kicked them. I think we need some martyrs, people that are just prepared to go to jail for them and just run them over.
Yeah.
Not me.
Hypothetically, allegedly.
Guys, your parents! There's a lot of kids in that place. Come on! Move to once and let's just the bus go. Come on! We got kids in the bus. God! How long you guys gonna do this for? Come on, guys. There's a kid in the bus. They need to go to school. You're all parents, aren't you? Do you want to speak on the side?
You want to speak on the side?
There's a kid in there. My son's gonna go to a parent. He's missing it.
Think of all the dolphins that are dying.
Oh my God! Lock this off. Lock this off.
No. Think about the dolphins that are dying.
Sorry?
Dolphins on the high street. Listen,
Camden as well.
get the fuck out of my face.
Calm, said it. What? Think about the dolphins that are dying.
You know what's mad? Well, I was pissed for her because she just seemed like one of them moany idiots that's just moaning, but not like she can't get her shit off. Like you're not.
I feel like she hasn't got the words to articulate.
No, but there was no
the level of
vim.
foolishness.
You got police in between them, so the police are protecting you lot, like chaperoning you, walking away. So you can't even really like.
You can't.
Like,
Yeah, you can't do what you want to do.
You were just chatting shit, man. Like you weren't gonna get your shit off. You get me? Like you were just there. You were just moaning, really.
Think about the dolphins that are dying.
That is rude. That's rude.
There's some things I just
I'm
wish
talking
that.
about my human son. You're talking about a dolphin.
I'll be honest. Sometimes, yeah, like obviously these kind of things couldn't happen back home. But I just
they'll
wish
flog you.
Listen, but I just wish
you.
I wish back home could be transported to here just for the benefits of sorting this out. Then we take it back. Because boy,
They will literally flog you.
think about the dolphins that are dying.
And make it make sense.
I'm gonna start saying
Nah,
that.
he definitely
I'm actually
said that
gonna
to
start
rile
saying
her
that.
up. He said that to provoke her. I don't
I mean, he was dead serious.
I think he was. I think he
And
was
you know
dead
what?
serious.
He said it in such a
serious.
soft. Do you know what it is? He
Such
said it
a
in such a soft tone. Like
Think about the dolphins
you
that are
can't
dying.
even get angry at that. Do you know what I mean? No.
I'm gonna start saying that in my normal vocabulary. That's lit.
What do you do?
Think about the dolphins that are dying. That's what I want you to
You
do.
think about the dolphins that are dying. That's what you do.
That's exactly what you do.
Like literally.
That's what you do. You think about
dolphins are
dying.
dying.
No, she might be done at here, man.
The woman.
I think
Well,
he's
you
done out here.
I just
Yeah,
need
but she
people
couldn't
to
do
go
anything. What's she
harder,
gonna do
man.
there?
Just mash them up in front of the police.
because her son is on the bus. Now her son is watching her get
And
arrested.
then
all
she
the time.
gets
Like, come on,
arrested,
man.
and then he's traumatized because he saw the
You
policeman
gotta give it-
that handle his
You
mouth.
see, she's trying to plead. These people ain't got no empathy. She's saying, use our parents. But these man, I told you, these men already said that they'll let their youth die.
Yeah.
for the
Oh, is
cause.
it?
Yeah.
Well, for animals.
No,
Yeah,
just for
because
everything.
the thing about the great grandchildren and stuff. But if you let your kids die, you can't have grandkids.
He
It's just worked
said,
out.
well, not none of these people in this case, but the man said, because they was arguing, saying, right, you are blocking up the roads, ambulances, boom, 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 boom. What if it was your youth that needed the ambulance and they blocked the thing? And he's
He
like,
said,
Well,
"Fuck them kids."
if we gotta go, we gotta go. We're standing for
Well,
standing.
he's
but
for
they
the
say
cause.
that until it's actually.
He's saying we're standing for something bigger than this, man. If he's got to
Do you know
go,
what's
he's got
mad
to go.
though? They move so irritating because you know the way they were moving so slow. That was what was making me more annoyed. The slowness in which, like, I hate slow stuff. But they move so irritating that I really do believe they will actually let their kid die. Because the way they're so
think it's
committed,
all
like
talk.
that's a cult.
Yeah, but you just got to do
to me.
another thing.
That's a
Go to.
cult.
Do they still have joke shops?
What's up?
What are those?
Joke shops like with like stink bombs and fart things and like funny things that stain on you and you can't rub it off, and you know, like them funny stupid things that they used to get. Do they still have them? Because I think people should just buy stink bombs and just bomb them up.
I think we should throw.
Yeah, but isn't that assault?
Don't care.
Is it?
I think
Yeah,
we should
like,
throw eggs at them. It is assault.
Eggs is worse than stink bombs, I think.
Eggs definitely worse because it's just nasty now.
It can't be assault. If I throw a stink bomb on like your jacket or your arm and it just stinks you up, it didn't hurt you. How can it be assault?
It doesn't.
Yeah, but that's the
matter.
thing though. See how annoying they are? They fall to the ground. Now they're in a coma.
Oh, and
Oh, well, you can spray
whole
them.
thing.
You can spray them.
That's still assault.
That's still assault.
How?
When if you
Aerosol.
shout, if you shout at somebody and they like jump and they fear for their
Jump
life,
scare.
that's assault.
Yeah,
There's
they-
different levels to it.
think
But I
it's-
think they should throw eggs at them.
maybe flour.
I just think you as you
No,
said,
I think-
there should be some
Kim
riders
got
that are a group of people, a group of
Kim got that
collectives
shit
that are
got
just riding out and
Vigilantes.
don't care. Yeah, some vigilantes and don't care.
What if four of them entered your house with the placards,
With the what?
with the same placards? How would you come up the stairs?
Oh, them three
Bread.
boys.
What if they had?
You said you wouldn't run these people over.
Man said, how would you come up the stairs, you know?
They're not even in your crib. They're not even in your crib.
Yeah.
How would you come up the stairs? Four of them.
What would you have done, Miles, if them guys run up in your house?
Nah, he really
Oh,
said
what,
it.
the boys?
Yeah.
The little boys that are doing that random.
Your
going
child
into
in the
random people's
house.
houses.
Your link or whatever she is.
Yeah, I would have handled that situation differently than people would expect. I told you, I need to assess the situation. I need to make sure everybody's safe. If it was them, they're getting attacked.
Wow.
They're getting attacked because they ain't no threat. You get what I'm trying to say? They ain't no threat. They just want to make noise and disrupt. I'm mashing them up.
Yeah, to me, that's just like you think I'm an Egypt.
You get what I'm saying?
Like, yeah, you've come to my, like, you think.
You're gonna throw
I'm
orange
the-
paint.
I'm
You're
the
gonna throw
Egypt
orange
that's
paint in
gonna
my
have
yard. You are sick. I'll mash them up.
Yeah.
Them avenues, it was a bit different. That scenario, that's just scenario could have been dangerous. You know what I'm trying to say? So I would have preferred to just make sure my gal and my youths are safe before I fly off the handle. That's all. Them man there though, finish. Come up with a hot kettle of water. How many times? I don't know. Can they be done at Air again? How many times can they be done at Air? They're always doing this shit. It don't matter how many times we get them done at Air. They don't care.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I don't want to be on done out here
we
this
give
week, so
them-
I'm not going to misbehave.
I'm not going to do it.
Boy, bye.
Think about the dolphins that are dying.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Hate to see it.
But it's been anyway. You know what? They're always done at Air. You are like gonna be done at Air from the beginning of that, like just forever. But they've been decent, to be fair. That's been a little while, isn't it?
Is there a cause that you would stand for, like how they stand for?
Well, standing in the middle of the road
I'm
and
saying,
thing.
is there a cause, like, is there something you can think of that you feel so passionate about that you do that?
I'm all for causes, but I think like my actions in the causes will be different. So there might be a cause that I'm passionate about that I can go and do things for, but the things that I'm gonna go and do is not standing in the road like an idiot. Do you get what I mean? So I'm not onto them for their passions or for them being for their cause and stuff. It's just the method to their madness I just don't rock with.
No, I understand it because it causes the most disruption, and that's
know-
what
yeah.
their aim is. I
No, but it's
get,
not-
I
but it's
get
not
the
doing-
method.
I was gonna say,
actually.
I'll be honest. I feel like for
It
future
hasn't changed nothing.
for future things like Black Lives Matter, all that kind of stuff. I think people should adopt their methods.
No, the only things that really enforce change is like violence.
Like the French.
You can go through history.
See, the French don't
People talk about, but the
play.
only thing that
The
really,
weedy
really
guys don't
enforces
play.
change, go check all through history. The only thing that
Everything
enforces
is
change is
burning down.
violence. So these men they're making conversations, granted, because we speak about them all the time. But there's no change, nothing ain't happening. And with the people that matter, the people with power that be, when they're doing all them summits and them G things like that, having the conversations, they don't give a one ras about diesel either. And they're not changing nothing, they're not doing nothing. So yeah, we're having conversations, but it's not effective. So if anybody else implemented that and trying to walk around in the streets and throw paint, like, you ain't gonna do nothing for your cause. It's an idiot thing.
We're just making fun of them.
Violence, allegedly. Use that, I done it here, man. Let's get into that actual. Please.
Okay. All right, people. This has been lovely. It's been nice spending time with you. Please like the video before you come out this video. Subscribe to the channel as well. Drop this in your group chats. Do share all that great stuff. Follow us on our social media platforms as well, the day after TNB. If you've got dilemmas to send in, you can send voice notes, text. The number is 07564841073. And if you'd like to inquire about the show or feature on the show, our email address is thedayafter@thenewblack.com. We'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Peace.